RBT family, what's the deal, man? It's your dog Willie Jack, and we are back, baby, back with more NFL action. How's everybody doing? How you feeling? If you don't know, feeling good, feeling great. I can't speak for everybody, but I will tell you, it's Victory Wednesday for your dog. You hear me? It's Victory Wednesday for your boy, man. The good guys did what we had to do Monday night. I'm sure y'all seen. Y'all had nothing else to do Monday night, but watch them Steelers do what we had to do. You feel me? So y'all welcome. Y'all welcome for keeping you entertained on your Monday night. And other than that, I'm still riding high, big dog. I'm still riding high, still feeling good. Victory Wednesday in full effect. My Steelers are doing it right in the place we need to be. But we ain't gonna get too caught up. We got tons and tons and tons of great NFL action to talk about. On Sunday, I said week 15 feels like it may be the best week of matchups that we've had all season. And this has been a season full now of some damn good matchups. Week 15 promised to be a full certified banger, and it delivered. I'm going to say it 3 times because it delivered across the board. I don't know if there was an unentertaining game, right? I mean, we saw the Seahawks win the game without scoring any touchdowns. And it's still an entertaining game. We got to watch old man Phillip Rivers go out there and sling that thing around. I'm talking about entertaining games, or at least entertaining storylines across the league, across the board. Fantastic week of football. Super excited to talk about it for sure. Let me see what's going on. Okay, I see a few of y'all early birds already in here, locked and loaded, ready to go. Let's see what's going on. Matter of fact, hey, I see y'all in them views. Now do your boy a favor, man. Tap in with them 3 amigos, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. That's like, that's share, that's subscribe. That's 3 the hard way. That's a 3-piece spicy. You know what I mean? You can't have one without 2 more. Like, share, subscribe. 3 amigos, man. Tap in with your dog. And then after you tap in with the 3 amigos, drop something in the chat. Say what's up to your dog. Talk to me. You know I talk back, man. Come on. Who in the building? Oh, first one in the door. My dog, man, J2 Chill in the building, man. Hey, he knows what's going on, man. Shout out to the members in the building, man. Yeah, let's go. Checking in. I appreciate your homeboy. Let's see, sis in the building. Hey, man, she know what's going on, man. Big Nation Business in the building. Let's go. Come on now. You know what's going on. Let's see. My dude's in the building. It's a good evening, Big Nation family. Happy Wednesday. Have a blessed show as always. Appreciate you. Hey, say y'all play the... Hey, man. Hey, I take them where I can get them, man. Hey, I take them where I can get them. You feel me? Hey, that's all I'm going to tell you, man. Hey, man, I take them where I can get them. Victory still tastes sweet. That's all I'm going to tell you. Mr. Cash Kid, man, shout out to my dog Isaiah, man. That's IT in the building, man. He said the good guys won Sunday at noon. Hey, y'all did what y'all had to do. Hey, y'all did what y'all had to do, man. I ain't mad at you at all. Man. Hey, you know, we're going to talk about it, man. Y'all ain't had to do Pat like that, man. That was uncalled for, bro. Y'all ain't had to do Pat like that, man. He was already out the door. You know what I mean? They was already dead in the water. Why y'all had to do Pat like that, man? Come on, dog. Come on, man. That's foul, man. That's foul. Let's see. Hey, yeah. Yeah, she said go ahead and start with them boys. You know what? We just may go ahead and do that. We just may. Let's see. Said Tua, nothing to call home about. We sent Tua home. Yeah, Tua been relegated to the bench now. Yeah, he was sent home. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's calling home now. He'll be home early because he's been relieved of starting duties. You know what I mean? So he actually will call home, let the family know he'll be there a couple hours earlier tonight because he don't have starter responsibilities no more. You know what I mean? That's what happened when you run into the good guys. You know what I mean? That's how that worked out. Hey, J2J, exactly, man. I almost feel bad that I remind myself that he's making $55 million a year, so I ain't gonna feel too bad for Tua. Shout out to my dog Tua, man. Mom said tough season for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Hey, look at she been going at these Chiefs all season. Now you want to have some sympathy for these Chiefs. She been going at these Chiefs for 15 weeks, and now it's like, hey, it's a tough season for the Chiefs. R.I.P. Hey, Moms is sending condolences to the Chiefs. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, you know what's going on. Yeah, we did. We had to do. We did. Hey, there we go. Look. bright and early. So get the comments on the board. I got you. I got you, man. And you know what that reminds me as well? Man, I had to put a APB out, man, on my dog Keandre, man. Cat Mother Shad to put an APB out, man. I was like, man, somebody check to make sure my dog Keandre all right, man. I know it's got to be a rough weekend. You know what I mean? I know it's got to be a rough one, man. It's got to be a rough one. I hope my dog doing all right. Hey, Cash, my dog Isaiah said he shouldn't have been playing after week 7. I mean, hold on now. Slow down. Because they when did they beat Big Josh in Buffalo? They put a 30 ball on the Bills. They dropped 30 on the Bills now. Yeah, because I think they started 1-6, and then they went on a run. Because they had won 4 or 5 in a row before we just played them. And during that streak, they put a 30 ball on the Bills. So we you know what I mean? We got to keep it funky now. They had turned it around a little bit. Now, mind you, Tua had been like his his contributions had been minimized, right? So they had definitely turned into or morphed into a dynamic running team with Devon A-Chain going crazy over the last month and a half for sure. But they were hot. They were one of the hotter teams in football at the time. Don't rewrite history. Don't take away my progress. All right. This was a hot team. They put a 30 ball on Big Josh in Buffalo. We see what Big Josh just did to my youngster, man, Drizzy May. Matter of fact, my dog IT in here. My dog IT's youngster, Drizzy May. You know what I mean? We see what they just did. That was Big Josh. You know what I'm saying? They hung 30 on them Bills and got it done. I think Devon A-Chain been averaging, or the Dolphins have been averaging like 190 rushing yards a game over this last month and a half of the season. Devon A-Chain over that time has probably arguably been the second best back, only behind maybe Jahmyr Gibbs over that stretch as well. This was a very hot team now. I don't want us to go. We got to give a little credit where it's due. We got to give it a little credit where it's due. Hey, Isaiah, hey, for sure. They definitely turned and put the ball in A-Chain's hands for sure. They definitely did. And as they should. A-Chain nice, man. A-Chain nice for sure. For sure. Yeah, man. We gonna go ahead and get it going. Man, and I ain't gonna lie, man, y'all done jumped in all fast. See, I was hoping, because we got some big man, no, I'm gonna say that, man. I'm gonna say that. We got some, it's definitely gonna be a bonus boxing episode dropping real soon, man. We had massive news today in the world of boxing, man. My dog, man, my favorite boxer at, you know what I'm saying, for this period of time, man, Terrence Bud Crawford announced his retirement. I got very mixed emotions, man. I can't wait to talk about it. So it's gonna be a bonus boxing episode coming to y'all soon for sure, man. We got to tap in, and we overdue for that anyway. But now we're gonna do what we came to do, man. We're gonna do what we came to do, and we're gonna get right into it. And matter of fact, since we've been talking it up and Sis asked for it, man, let's go ahead and start with Monday night while it's still fresh. Miami on the road at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh dominates this one 28-15. The slower start to the game for sure. And then once the scoring started, it didn't stop. At least not for my Steelers for a stretch there. I think we had a stretch where we scored, 4 consecutive touchdown drives. That's big for us, man. It's been a rough go. All right, it's been a rough go of it. A-Rod goes for 224 and 2 touchdowns. Kenny Gainwell has a big day, 80 yards on the ground, another 40 in the air. DK Metcalf has a touchdown in this one. MVS, right? Not to be confused with CVS. I'm talking about MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now, y'all know that A-Rod don't go too far without bringing one of his dogs with him. You know what I mean? Whether it's Randall Cobb, MVS, Alan Lazard, Mercedes Lewis, A-Rod gonna bring one of his dogs with him. And so when we went and got MVS for A-Rod, you know what I mean? You know you got to. And A-Rod put him in the paint, man, so I ain't mad at it at all. And then also, man, we had Jonnu Smith in his revenge game against the Dolphins. Mind you, or be reminded that the Steelers traded Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins for Jonnu Smith, tight end, and Jalen Ramsey, corner/safety for the Steelers now. And Jonnu Smith gets a rushing touchdown against his former team. And then the formerly known as the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, you know him and you love him, Tua Tagovailoa. He had 253 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. A-Chan, who, like we talked about before, man, had been running wild. He's held in check in this one, man. 60 yards rushing, another 60 receiving. And then Darren Waller. Darren Waller is one of the better stories across the league. If you know about his story, man, he's had even him getting discovered off of the Ravens practice squad. John Gruden and the Raiders poaching him off the practice squad, converting him to a tight end. He had a battle with sobriety that he ended up winning, right? Battle with sobriety or alcoholism, which he actually ended up winning. He's sober now, redeemed himself, cashed out, got himself paid. I want to say he was a $40 million man at the time, went through a hard stretch, walked away from the league for about a year and a half or maybe 2 years now. And then now he's signed and re-entered the league with the Dolphins for this last half of the season. I think he's been there since week 7, 8. He's been balling, man. I think he had 2 touchdowns in our game. Now, they were garbage time touchdowns, right? Because this game was essentially over toward the end of the third quarter. But 2 fourth quarter touchdowns in this one, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he's up to 7 touchdowns on the season now with only, 7, maybe 8 games played for the Dolphins. And so kudos and congrats to him. And then here's the thing as well, man, about benching Tua. Because you still got to pay him. First off, this is what you get, Miami. And this is what teams like Miami get, right? And I would, for the longest, I've had Trevor Lawrence in that conversation, but Trevor Lawrence is playing his ass off. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it here soon as well. But when you got like Tua, $55 million, knowing or being fully aware of his limitations and et cetera, et cetera. So you go in eyes open, right? And instead of paying for the product, you pay him just in accordance with the league. And that's the whole thing that's been messed up or screwed up with the quarterback. And it's only the quarterback market that's like that, where talent or ability is overruled by timing. You know what I mean? It's just time for our starting pay. And so this is the range of value that quarterbacks get assigned, regardless of skill, talent, placement, or rank amongst his peers. Tua getting $55 million was bound to blow up in somebody's face, as we're seeing now. And then here's the thing about it as well, man. Do y'all remember seeing Quinn Ewers at Texas? They turned into Quinn Ewers, who for a year and a half, people were begging to have Arch Manning take over and play, right, wrong, or otherwise, right? But he'll be the starter going forward. We'll see how long that lasts. But the thing about it is with Tua's contract, first off, the contract doesn't make sense to trade because of the dead money that's involved, especially like with the remaining guarantees on his contract. And then secondly, you ain't got no market. There's no market for a $55 million Tua tag your mama, man. I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter. Nobody's taking on that contract. So the Dolphins are going to have to pull a Denver Broncos and what we saw done with Russell Wilson. They got to bite the bullet. They just have to bite the bullet, eat $50 million of dead cap or whatever that penalty is going to be, and I guess move forward that way, most likely. But I am curious to see what becomes of Tua, man. What becomes of Tua? But we shall see. Hold on, man. I know that ain't my dog. Come on, man. Where you at? Hold on. I see. Hey, there we go, man. Hey, my dog D-Dot in the building, man. Hey, Big Nation Business in the building, man. You know what's going on. You see what we had to do, man. You see what we had to do? Let me see what's going on. Hold on. What my dog Ike said. Rest in retirement to Terrence Crawford. Man, yeah, dog. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, man, I'm a circle back around, man. Every now and again, I do a bonus boxing episode. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to give. We gonna have to, and I'm overdue for one. I've been promising y'all a bonus boxing episode for. We done had a lot of stuff in boxing to talk about. Debo Devin Haney, new welterweight king right now. The big fight with T.O. and Shakur. Jake Paul's fighting Anthony Joshua Friday. I mean, there's tons of boxing. Good boxing talk, man. So I'm gonna definitely circle back around, and we're gonna have to get one in for sure, man. I'm gonna circle back around and have a boxing episode for sure. My dog J2 Trill said, "Yeah, it's Quinn Ewers season." I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm curious to see what it look like. I'm curious to see what he look like. Yeah, for sure. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get into it. Okay, hold on. Let me see where we're going to start. Here we go. Let's go ahead and Let's go ahead and peel that. Let's go ahead and just rip that Band-Aid on off. The Chargers on the road at Kansas City. Kansas City's playoff hopes in the balance in this one. Even with the win, they were still likely to be eliminated because of, and we talked about it on Sunday, but even with the win, they would have likely been eliminated because of Jacksonville and Houston in the two weak opponents they played, being the Jets and the Cardinals. If both of them would have won, even with a Chiefs win against the Chargers, they'd have still been eliminated. We've been talking about it for 2 months. We've been talking about it for 2 months. Kansas City digging themselves in such a deep hole, losing to all these teams that they're in the wild card hunt with, right? And so we talked about that, how that would come back to bite them. And then sure enough, it definitely did. The nail in the coffin, Patty Mahomes going down with that torn ACL. I want to say that was toward the end of toward the end of the third quarter? Gardner Minshew played the bulk of the fourth, if I'm remembering right. But man, and there's the thing about it, man. Y'all know I've been pretty critical. I've been pretty critical of Patrick Mahomes in the past, but not without cause. Not without cause, right? But I just want to hold him to account. I want him to get the same criticism. We give him all the praise. I want him to get the criticisms as well when it's justified to do. But you don't want to see anybody like that go down. We don't want to see anybody go down with serious injury, and especially not love them, hate them, or otherwise. You never want to see a premier player in any league go down with any style of serious injury. You know what I mean? That just is sport as a whole. So speedy recovery for Patty, man. We'll see what happens. Now, here's the thing about it, Kansas City. With it being, end of the fourth. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, my fault. End of the fourth. I said end of the third. You right. End of the fourth. Yeah, because then Gardner Minshew came in and threw an interception like 2 plays later or whatever it was. Yeah, that's the thing, too. That speaks back to my point as well, man. Y'all didn't have to do Patty like that, man. You didn't have to. But with it being this late in the season, torn ACL, and I think I saw something that mentioned or said that his, well, you know what, he has successful ACL surgery. I definitely saw that. That's the thumbnail. But I thought I saw a report as well that it mentioned that it's possible, or they were thinking that maybe one of the other ancillary tendons in the knee was also affected, maybe not to the level of a full-fledged tear or something surgical. But I say all that to say 2026, man, the 2026 start isn't guaranteed. I mean, I'm not sure. We're midway through December. ACLs aren't the 18 months recoveries that they used to be, you know what I'm saying, 30 years ago, right? And so, you know, a lot of times now we see guys come back. A lot of times they will come back bigger or stronger and faster off of ACL surgery. But I want to say that recovery is still, are we going to call it 9 months? 9 months, assuming everything goes ideal, right? And so, I don't know, man. I think it's time. Well, yeah. 9, and even still, realistically, 9 months still a little aggressive. But I'm curious, or I would be curious or concerned, you know, just what his timeline looks like through the recovery, looking ahead to the start of next year if you're a Chiefs fan. Now, on to the victors we will go. Justin Herbert in this one goes for 210 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Rookie Amarian Hampton has 60 hard-fought yards in this one. And the Chargers get this done on the road, sweeping the Chiefs in this season series 16-13 on a frigid night in Kansas City. The Chiefs officially eliminated from the playoffs. It feels weird saying it. I was positive that the NFL was going to push the button and make some type of magic happen, but that's not what happened. Shout out to my dog Isaiah. And yeah, ACL and LCL. I thought so as well. See, I thought I had seen that also, but then when the last I looked, they didn't mention the LCL. It only said successful ACL surgery or repair surgery. But yeah, I'm glad you confirmed that for me because I believed it was the other tendon as well, one of the others. So yeah, ACL and LCL. He said he wants to come back at the start of the season. They should take a gap year and reload. I'm sure you do think they should take a gap year. Chargers fan. Y'all hear Ike T in here talking like he's concerned for Patty's health. Man, hey, Patty might as well take a year or two off, man. Don't rush it. Take your time, big dog. Take that gap year. I bet you do want him to take a gap year. For sure. Shout out to my dog Isaiah for sure, man. He said, perfect situation. All right, yeah, ideally he should be ready by September. And that's what I was thinking as well. Like, ideally it'll be right in there, but I think that's still in question. And then kind of to your point, now taking a full-fledged gap year, that's wild. But honestly, I don't know how quickly you necessarily rush them back to make week one, realistically, and especially with the team in that kind of in between where it's time to they're overdue. Honestly, they're probably a season 2 overdue for an influx of new blood. You know what I mean? For just a turnover on that roster, and so also with Patty, the start of next season being in question, what becomes of, stalwarts, longtime guys, Travis Kelce, you know what I mean? Who maybe realistically, maybe he should have hung him up, right? And so honestly, what's the rest of his season look like with Patty out and with no playoff hopes in sight, right? It's time to book them winter vacations for sure. Do how much more of Travis Kelce do we see as a Chief? He's going to go down as an all-time Chief, a Ring of Honor style of guy. He's going to be a Hall of Famer as a Chief, right? So this is a big moment for this generation or this dynastic run for the Chiefs. Chris Jones, we saw him, take a step back, right? Or we saw him finally crest that hill, and he's starting his gradual descent now on the other side of that hill. His prime run, I think, came to an end probably in hindsight, right? We could say probably last year might have been the last of that prime, and now he's, beginning his own gentle descent down the other side of that hill. You know what I mean? And so how much longer do we see Chris Jones in a Chiefs jersey? And then also, right, if this is going to be a hard reset, other assets on that team. You know what I mean? So I think Nick Bolton, hey, my dog Miles just slid in the building, man. What's going on with your big dog? Shout out to my dog, Pretty Tony the Painter. And this is perfect timing because I was going to ask about some of these other guys for the Chiefs who either, young guys that are potential assets, because the Chiefs need a hard reset, man, at a lot of positions. They definitely got super top heavy, right? And that's not uncommon, right? Where you have to supplement, depth or quality depth at that, so that you can afford to be heavy at the top with the big name guys, your Patrick Mahomes, your Travis Kelce's, your Chris Joneses, et cetera, et cetera. And so, we lose and let guys go. And so do we see with maybe like my dog Isaiah was intimating just a second ago, I think Patty's going to take a full-fledged gap year, but I do think that the Chiefs probably will go through some style of mini overhaul. We've seen it before. We've seen it, the parallels to Tom Brady and the Patriots, right? I think they also said the year that Tom Brady tore his ACL, when Matt Castle stepped in and the Patriots still won 11 games without him, it's all good. But that was also Tom Brady's 9th year in the league, right? So those parallels continue. 3 Super Bowls, then in the 9th year, missed the playoffs, tear your ACL. And then we saw, I think there was that a 2-year kind of, I want to say that was like a 2 or 3 year kind of gap between that first run and then that next run for the Patriots. If I'm remembering right, I'm trying to think. If I'm remembering right. And in that time we saw, Randy Moss moves on. Welker. Welker was gone, or maybe he was already gone that year. He was either gone that year or he left that following year for sure. So what I'm getting at is we do see a lot of the big we saw before, where a lot of those well-known and big names after this style of injury, which is going to force feed a reset. Maybe some of those names move into new places, etc. as they try to revamp or reload for sure. Let me see. Hold on, what did I say? He said Kelce's out. So when you say Kelce's out, meaning like he's going to go ahead and sit it. He's just getting set down for the rest of the year, essentially, which would make sense. I don't see a reason. Travis has been out there looking hobbled. Now, honestly, his production not to the level that we're accustomed to, but he is still producing. I want to say Travis Kelce is still top 3 or 4 as far as receiving yards for tight ends, or in yardage across his position. And so, he's still producing, but, we know it don't look the same, man. We don't look the same. The movement's down, the drops are up. You know what I mean? And so I would think that's best. Oh, retirement. Like immediately, like immediate retirement, or just like he's just went ahead and made it official, you know. Well, I don't think that's a secret, you know what I'm saying? Like the writing was definitely on the wall for sure. And it was always thought or speculated that this had to be the last ride. You know what I mean? So that makes sense. But is he going to play out the rest of this season, or is he going to go ahead and walk on off? I wouldn't begrudge him if he went ahead and walked on off, man. I wouldn't begrudge him if he went ahead and walked on off. Now here's a question. Well, no, I think that conversation's been had again. My dog might say, lick your wounds and go home, man. It's time to, man. It's time to, for sure. He put in a lot of work around there, man. You know what I mean? His name good. He put in a lot of work. We're going to put his name in the ring of honor and all that. He going to have his jersey hanging in the stadium somewhere. He'll get a gold jacket here in about 5-6 years. You know what I mean? So he had a fantastic career for sure. Fantastic career for sure. Let me see. Let's keep it pushing, though. Let's keep it pushing. Here we go. The Buffalo Bills travel to New England and rally back and get a massive win, 35-31 to split the season series with the Patriots. And then here's the crazy thing about this game. Patriots came out on fire. The Patriots came out on absolute fire. It was 21 early in the second quarter. I mean, they came out, jumped all over Buffalo. And honestly, the game had the feel of that Dolphins game, where the Dolphins just really came out and just took it to Buffalo and just kind of just ran away from them just right out the gate. It had that kind of feel. And now I have picked, I think, the Patriots to get this win. And it was looking good for about a quarter and a half. And then I think the Bills do end up getting the Bills do end up getting a touchdown before half. And then the Patriots have scored on their first three possessions, scored touchdowns on their first three possessions before ending with a field goal on their last possession. So they go into halftime after starting 21-0. We do go into halftime 24-7. And then, boy, man, hey. Then in the second half, Big Josh said, you know what? I got this, man. Somebody hand me my cape. Somebody hand me my cape. Pass me a little bit of Mike's secret stuff. You know what I mean? And then get out the way, man. Let me show y'all what I came to do. And then in the second half, man, they come out and they rally, and they really dominate. I want to say they came back. They came back. We end the third quarter 21-24, a scoreless third quarter for the Patriots for sure. 21-24. And then early in the fourth, I think the Patriots scored another touchdown. I think this was James Cook's touchdown to take the lead, making the game 28-24. So they scored 21 unanswered going into the top of the fourth quarter. And then we do get a second long touchdown run from Travion Henderson to recapture the lead for the Patriots after having a scoring drought, a touchdown drought since midway through the second quarter. And so now it's 31-28. And then, of course, Big Josh and the guys, they go ahead and put another one in the end zone and recapture the lead. This one ended up being the game winner, and they win this game 35-31. Josh finishes with 193 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, another 50 yards on the ground. James Cook, 107 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns. Also had a receiving touchdown in this one. Dalton Knox had caught 2 of Josh Allen's passing touchdowns. And then on the other side for the Patriots, Drake May in this one. And honestly, even like watching the game and then I went back and rewatched it as well. And it's hard to kind of see. It's just, I don't know what happened at halftime for the Patriots. Because when I tell you, for about the first 20, 25 minutes of that game, you'd have thought the Patriots were going to score 50 points. You know what I mean? Like, Travion Henderson ripped off, he had 2 60-yard touchdown runs in this game. You know what I mean? Drake May had several big runs in this one as well. And so it went from, it looked like scoring at will to just losing your mojo. I don't know what happened, what went cold. I don't know what happened, but they really just kind of went cold and lost the juice. And then Buffalo, meanwhile, went to the halftime and came back out and came back on fire. And that's been a trend that we've seen from Buffalo for a lot of this season, right? We saw this week 1, or I can't remember if it was week 1 or earlier in the season. It was week 1 or 2 in the Ravens game, getting dominated, blown out at the crib as well. We're getting dominated, blown out for about 3 quarters. You right? And then Big Josh with a Herculean effort and comes and they score like 30 points in the last quarter and a half of that game against the Ravens to come back and win. Right? Down 21 points right out the gate in this one. You're down 17 officially at halftime. And then you outscore the Patriots, who have been on fire. You outscore them in the second half 28-7, right? And so fantastic performance by reigning MVP Big Josh. And then also, if you're New England, they had a chance to lock up that division, right? They had already won the earlier matchup, so if they would have swept the series, I think that would have cemented the division for them. And now they've lit Buffalo right back in it, because now they've got a 1-game lead on Buffalo, and that division is not settled at all now. So this was a massive opportunity for the Patriots, and I'm curious to see how this one shakes out, man. I'm curious to see how this shakes out. Who actually wins that AFC East? 3 weeks ago, we probably thought this division was put to bed, but kudos and congrats to the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, man, for really rallying and showing what it means to be one of those guys. Showing what it means to be one of those guys. This is exactly, if y'all been here since 2020 or however long I've been talking on the internet, talking ball, y'all done heard me say this for years now. When you one of them ones, when you one of those guys, when you got one of those ones, when you got one of those guys, no lead is safe, man. No lead is safe. 21 points don't mean nothing to Josh Allen. 21 points don't mean nothing to Patrick Mahomes when he's firing. You know what I mean? When you got one of those, this is what it means. This is what it looks like. You know what I mean? And so kudos and shout out to Buffalo and Big Josh Allen, man. And it's the wrong time for them to be catching fire for everybody else in the AFC. AFC's already been drastically down this year, right? It's a revamping and recalibration of, the top of the conference. And so now you've got one of those teams, the Buffalo Bills, that have been one of those kind of stalwarts at the top. The Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, right? Those 3 teams, kind of the hierarchy of the AFC. So we've seen the AFC reset itself. We've seen the Broncos now and these Patriots, right? We saw the Colts have a little run, but we've seen some mixing up. But now the Bills, that old vanguard that's still a live dog, that's still kicking and still showing life. Chiefs are out of it. The Ravens are soon to be out of it. The Bengals are the Bengals, right? And Joe Burrow, but the Bills are back, and they're looking dangerous, man. And that's the thing about it is, like, it's hard to, like, what do you have to do to beat them? What do you have to do to beat them, man? Because if Josh Allen hits that switch, man, and gets going, no lead is safe. No lead is safe. Hey, Sis said for sure she was nervous, Big Josh. Man, I'll tell you, it came out, it got so ugly. I said, damn, not like this, Josh. I picked the Patriots to win. But I was like, not like this, dog. Come on, man. We better than that. Hey, we better than that. Yeah, he said, don't worry, I got you. He said, don't worry, I got you. You see, J2 Trish said, hope you know it ain't gonna never happen again. Josh got so lucky. Man, hey, boy, you crazy. You ain't been watching enough Josh Allen. But this ain't new. That wasn't new. Josh does that, bro. Come on, man. That's what he does. He's one of them ones. He's the guy. He's one of them ones, man. That was old hat. You know what I mean? That was old hat. My dog Miles said Henderson cost him his fitness run. Yeah, nah, he went crazy, bro. I think he had, matter of fact, I even give us the stats. Let me see what he did. Ooh, 14 carries, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. My God. My God. Ooh. Yeah. 14 for $150. And both touchdowns were at least 50 yards. I think one was 50 and one was like 60, 65. You know what I mean? Went crazy. So yeah, I can see it. I can see it for sure. But I'm not gonna lie, man. This Buffalo and New England dynamic, man. This AFC playoff race is gonna get very interesting, man. I'm a little nervous to see how it shakes out. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want to have to go to Buffalo, man. I don't want to have to go to Buffalo at all. I would much rather go see a young Drake May in those Patriots. Let me see where we're going next. Where are we going next? Who was I looking for? Who was I looking for? Where you at? Here's where we go. We'll go. The Jets on the road at Jacksonville. The return of good Trevor, man. So for a while, I've been talking about Trevor Lawrence Another one of these guys that it felt criminally overpaid. Not to, he was in that same conversation of Tua Tagovailoa. These are both $55 million quarterbacks, and neither of them, they both felt like we wasn't getting our money's worth. And so Trevor Lawrence being so up and down, so inconsistent, I started calling him either good Trevor or bad Trevor. Man, this is a turn of good Trevor. Trevor Lawrence on Sunday, probably had the game of his career. Was it a 5 or 6 touchdown day? No, a 6 touchdown day. Now, mind you, against the Jets, it's all good. You score 6 touchdowns in professional football, I don't give a damn who he was playing. At that point, that's a spectacular performance. 330 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, right? And then he had another 50 yards rushing, a rushing touchdown, a 6 touchdown day. And you know what? That's the second, because Josh Allen had a 6 touchdown game earlier this year as well. So the second 6 touchdown performance of the season, this one by Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they, I hate to say it, Jacksonville's looking good. It was the Jets. I'm gonna keep that, we had to keep that in mind as well. But they are leading that division. This is a very competitive AFC South. We know what's going on with the Texans. The Texans are also rolling, right? But the Jacksonville Jaguars currently leading this division. And if you're going to get 6 touchdowns for Trevor Lawrence, I'll say it again, I don't give a damn who he's playing. You'll score 6 touchdowns and hey, man, and you got it, right? And so that AFC South is getting real competitive as well. The cream is starting to rise to the top. We've seen the Colts start to kind of fade a little bit for a lot of reasons, right? A lot of reasons. As a matter of fact, we'll jump to them next. But this is a fantastic showing for Trevor Lawrence. Travis Etienne also had a big day in this one. He had 3 of Trevor's 5 passing touchdowns, 73 yards receiving. Brian Thomas Jr. also had a touchdown. It feels like this is probably Brian Thomas Jr.'s first touchdown since like week 3. Probably since like week 3. But big day there. And then for the Jets, man, one quick shout out to Brady Cook. I forgot that Brady Cook was the 3rd string quarterback for the Jets, Mizzou's very own. You know what I mean? If you don't know, of course, I'm in Texas now. I'm down here in Dallas, but I did grow up in Missouri. You know what I mean? MIZ and all of that. So Brady Cook from the crib, man, getting his first career start, throwing his first touchdown. He scored early as well. I want to say he scored right there in the first quarter. It may have been on his first drive, but he throws a touchdown pass to A.D. Mitchell. And so making his first start, getting his first touchdown. So shout out to Brady Cook, man, from the crib, holding it down for them Tigers for sure. So I wanted to shout him out. And let me see. Keep it pushing. Matter of fact, staying in that AFC South, let's talk about these Houston Texans, man. And shout out to my dog, Ty, man. I don't even know if you're in the building. I ain't caught it. I don't know if you're in that building. I ain't caught it yet. But, man, shout out to these Texans. They are also rolling. They have a dominant victory over the Arizona Cardinals. Double them boys up 40-20. We call that a Peter roll. Boy, Peter roll the Cardinals 40-20. CJ Stroud, who's been playing clean football as well since returning from injury. Since returning from injury, 3-4 games ago now. 260 passing yards in this one, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Let's see. They did get big day from Nico Collins. He goes 85 yards and 2 touchdowns as well. In this one, Dalton Schultz also adds a touchdown. And just like I was saying speaking about the Jaguars, this AFC division is getting pretty tight. And so seeing who's going to come out on top of this one between the Jaguars and the Texans now with the Colts, kind of like I said, man, fading back into the background slowly but surely. We'll see who actually wins this AFC South. But both those teams, regardless, are going to be a very difficult out. The Jaguars, especially if they're playing the way they are offensively, getting this type of production for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, what are you going to do there? And then the Texans playing like the best defense in football. And so those are both ugly matchups for anybody they come across when we get into this postseason for sure. Keep it pushing. AFC South one more time. Yeah, man, let's go ahead and make it a set. Indianapolis on the road at Seattle. Phillip Rivers making his I'll call it epic return to football. 44 years old, 10 grown-ass children. The man is a grandfather, hadn't played or taken a professional snap in 5 years. He shows up in Indianapolis and starts on 3 days' notice of practice. And they came out. It was looking like Phillip Rivers was going to find a way to steal this game or to win this game. The Colts, and to that Colts defense, namely for sure, for playing this may have been the Colts' best defensive performance of the year. Because this Seattle Seahawks offense, outside of 3-4 games ago where Sam Darnold just pissed down his leg in LA and threw 4 interceptions, and then that's still a game they lost by a field goal, right? With Sam Darnold throwing 4 picks. Outside of that, this Seattle offense is pretty much scored at will versus just about anybody they've came across. That includes the Houston Texans, who we were just singing their praises, right? I've talked about it before on this show with JSC and had Derek Stingley out there doing the stanky leg, right? So when Seattle is playing with any and everybody they come across, just about seeing them struggle in this game against a Colts defense that's not particularly stout or strong, or no more so than average. So seeing the performance that the Colts had in this one, that defense, namely keeping this game tight. I think they had the lead for the bulk of this game, especially early on. Now, Phillip Rivers himself, he didn't go out there and light the world on fire. And the recipe for success was going to be pretty obvious. Nice, easy, quick passes, short. You're not trying to wear out that 44-year-old arm at all. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm looking for the stats. Here we go. I don't know. He had 27 pass attempts, 18 for 27 for 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, right? I don't know how many of these pass attempts traveled more than in the air. I don't know. If he had a pass that traveled 10 yards in the air, maybe 1, no more than 2. If the over under was 2.5 yards, or if the over under was 2.5 passes that traveled 10 yards in the air, I'd take the under. It was very short, a quick pace and quick passing game. They did pound Jonathan Taylor, 25 carries for 87 yards. So, tough, hard-fought yards, as to be expected, right? To try to keep some of that pressure off of Phillip Rivers, slow down the pace of this game, keep this game close and see if you can find a way to come out and win. And they damn near did. Seattle goes scoreless in this one, no touchdowns at all. They win this game on the strength of 6 field goals from their kicker, right? And you know what? Which reminds me, last time I think I seen win with all field goals was when my Steelers beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Was that our last playoff victory? Was our last playoff victory against Kansas City? We scored 6 field goals, against the Alex Smith-led Chiefs at that time. That might have been my last playoff victory. But be that as it may, the Seahawks do find a way to win this game. Darnold throws for 271 passing yards, no touchdowns or picks in this one. JSN goes for 7 for $113. No touchdowns, of course, for Shaheed had a couple big catches in this one, 5 for 74 yards. Cooper Kupp had some moderate contributions as well. But no, when this game was, I think the Colts were up, was it 13-3? Colts were up 13-3 I think at halftime. I think Seattle got another field goal at halftime. Or wait, no, it was 13-6 at halftime, excuse me. So Indianapolis is up in this one 13-6 at halftime. And then, of course, we know Seattle rallies, has another 4 second half field goals. Of course, the final one being the deciding factor in this one. So a very tough, hard-fought one for Seattle. They've got a very big game just tomorrow night. Speaking of that poor performance that Sam Darnold just had against the Rams his last time there, he'll get a chance for redemption, this time in his own building. And so, we'll talk about that here shortly when we preview the Thursday night game. But no, this is still a big win for Seattle. And if you're Indianapolis, right, it's getting pretty dire, right? Now, here's one thing as well. I didn't know what to expect from Phillip Rivers. And honestly, from what we just saw, I think if they were going to win a game, I think there's 4 games remaining, or 3 games remaining now, 3 weeks remaining now in the regular season. This probably would have been the best chance for them to get a win over this final month of the season. And I'm not sure their schedule going forward. If somebody has their schedule, they can pull it up real quick, man. Put it on the board for me, man, so we could take a look and see if Indianapolis has a chance to salvage this season and maybe still make the playoffs after starting as hot as they did. And so, if somebody can help your dog out, let me know. Let me know for sure. 'Cause I'm curious, man, if there's any, winnable games left on this Colts schedule. And then if not, man, I feel bad for these Colts. And you know what, man? I got to check on my dog, man. My dog, DeMario, man, was a big Colts fan. I have to check on my dog, man, see how he's feeling. But I'm curious to see if there's what the rest of the Colts schedule looks like, to see if maybe the playoffs is still going to be a viable for them if they can figure something out with Phillip Rivers. And then also realistically, this is going to be the best and healthiest Phillip Rivers that we're going to get. It's going to be downhill. The body doesn't bounce back and recover like it used to, for sure. It don't do that at 37, so I know it don't do it at 44. You know what I mean? And so as weak as that arm looked on Sunday, it's only going to further decline. And so, you know, realistically, I don't know how many more games they'll realistically have a chance to win to see if they can salvage some style of playoff run. Let me see. Rennie in the building. What's going on? I ain't see you slide. What's going on, RBT family? I appreciate you. My dog Chop is slid in the building as well, man. Yeah, hey, we gonna talk about your Rams, man. We're gonna talk about that rematch for sure. Man, here you go. Shout out to Las Vegas' very own Broncos fan, my dog, man, James K9, blip, 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 blip. Hey, man, hold on. First off, Playboy, I ain't gonna be calling you James K9, K8, U. What's going on with your YouTube name, Playboy? What we doing, man? But he asked a very important question. Are we both leaving now? And I tell you what, I can show you better than I can tell you, my boy. I can show you better than I can tell you. Where's that game at? We're going to go to that one. We're going to go to that one right now for my dog James, all the way from Las Vegas, tapping in, man. Green Bay at Denver. The Broncos are for real. Shout out to James, man. Shout out to our homeboy James from Vegas. He one of them members now, man. I can't remember if we had somebody welcome you to the team last week, man. And just in case somebody, man, RBT Fam, somebody welcome my dog James to the squad, man. He one of them members now. We're going to talk about his Broncos. Because he did get, I don't know how he found us. He got in here last week, you know, talking his Broncos talk. And honestly, they went out there and handled business. This game for me, I have no choice but to believe in these Broncos right now. Like, I think this is the game for me that makes the Broncos real. I really did feel like we talked about Bo Nix, and I talked about his inconsistencies. Now, the thing about Bo Nix, and me and you talked about it on the show last week or on Sunday, I think when you found me, is that Bo Nix is like the inverse of, I'm not going to say Justin Herbert. Isaiah, I know you're in there. I'm going to get off your dog. I ain't going to say him. But the thing about Bo Nix is that he'd be pretty inconsistent for like the first 3 quarters, right? But then in the fourth quarters, in those big moments, those clutch moments, that's when he turns it on and when he plays his best ball, right? And they've been winning. Now that defense and special teams have played a big role in that. They've won a lot of these games, these very close call games, these ball bounces left instead of right style of victories and games. They've won a lot of those. And so that coupled with Bo Nix's inconsistencies for the first half or even 3 quarters of games, and then turning it on in the fourth quarter and playing and rising to the occasion, like that's a hard way to make a living. And so I didn't know how to feel about it. That's why I couldn't fully trust the Broncos. This game made me a believer, man. Now, maybe it's because I'm pretty high on Jordan Love. My dog Chops in here. He knows what's going on, man. I'm a Jordan Love guy. You know what I mean? And so I'm pretty high on Jordan Love. I was pretty high on these Packers going into this season. I hate that Tucker Kraft got injured, man. The season was looking like it was going to play out how I thought for sure. It was trending that way with him and Love, man, really rolling before he went down with that season-ending injury. But this game for me really did it, man. Bo Nix is fantastic in this game. 300 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, right? He played clean football. And against a stout opponent, right? So this wasn't eking out a last-second victory over a down Kansas City, right? This wasn't going to overtime against a rookie Jackson Dart without Malik Neighbors and with Cam Scatchabo's ankle twisted all the way around looking at him. You know what I mean? And you go to overtime to beat that team. This wasn't that type of victory. Those are some of the ones on their record. This was a primetime premium opponent. Green Bay was the truth, right? Green Bay had been playing damn good ball. They had been a competitive team. They had good victories over quality opponents. This was a heavyweight matchup. I think on Sunday when we previewed this game, I said that this could be a Super Bowl preview. And it legitimately still can. Because the Packers are still a top 2-3 team in the NFC, right? Packers, Rams, and Packers, Rams, and I'll still take the Seahawks. I'll still take the Seahawks over the Bears, and I'll still take the Seahawks over the Niners as well. So I think for me, the Packers are second only in the NFC to the Rams, because I'll put the Packers above those other two. No, I'm going to leave that where it said. That's good enough. The Packers are a quality opponent. So this one for me is where I wanted to see and decide just how real these Broncos were. And they passed with flying colors, man. So shout out to my dog James out there in Vegas. Man, James, I'm going to tell you right now, Playboy, I know you're new here, man. And you may not know this. You're going to get a nickname, Playboy, because I'm not going to be trying to read James K9K8, K9K8U. That's going to throw me, Playboy. I mean, maybe you made me, you just gonna be Vegas James. Matter of fact, there you go, man. Hey, somebody say what's up to Vegas James in the chat, man. Vegas James in the chat told everybody that we need the Bo lead. And he called it, man, so fantastic. That's a big win for Denver, for sure. The rest of that team, R.J. Harvey, I was a big R.J. Harvey guy coming into the draft. And matter of fact, Ike, man, Ike's another draft head like me. I don't know how you felt about R.J. Harvey. I had R.J. Harvey over your dog, or Marion Hampton, in my draft rank. R.J. Harvey, for me, was a top 5 back in the draft class. But my top 5 best class was very unorthodox, dog. I had R.J. Harvey in my top 5. I had Bashal Tootin in my top 5. I was a big R.J. Harvey fan. I thought he was a bona fide when the Broncos got him. I liked him better than Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson, honestly, because I wasn't sure if Travion Henderson was. I ain't gonna get too caught up. But I was a big R.J. Harvey fan. I wanted to say that, and he played well, 65 yards. He had a touchdown. Cam Sutton. Matter of fact, my dog Vegas James, he was saying that if Justin Jefferson becomes available, the Broncos need to go snatch him. And I was like, man, y'all can't even get Cam Sutton the ball. How you gonna get Jefferson the ball? And then you know what Bo Nix does? He goes out there and gets Sutton the ball. Sutton had 7 for $113 and a touchdown in this one. Troy Franklin had a big day, 6 for 85 and a touchdown. And so the Broncos rolled, man. This was a very impressive victory. In my mind for the Broncos, and I think it really did lend a lot of credibility to the team that they've been all year. I mean, between them and the Patriots as the best team in the AFC this year to this point. I mean, I don't want to just knock what the Patriots did because they lost a tough game to Big Josh Allen and the Bills. So I don't want to overcorrect, right? But yeah, they've arguably been the best team in the AFC, and this game goes a lot towards that point. And so kudos and congratulations to those Broncos, man. And shout out to Vegas James, Playboy. I appreciate you. I'm Bo leaving now, for sure. I got you. And then on the other side, man, before I get out of here, my dog Jordan Love. Rough day at the office, man. And you know what? You jinxed him. Matter of fact, Vegas James sit here and told me that Patrick Surtain was going to have a pick 6 in this game against Jordan Love. I said, dog, don't throw that in the air. My dog Jordan Love ain't threw a pick in like 2 months. Jordan Love had like 22 touchdowns. He only had like 4 picks. And hadn't thrown a pick in since week 4 or something like that. Sure enough, Patrick Surtain got a pick in this one, man. Patrick Surtain got a pick in this one and got up and ran it back a little bit. Didn't score, but he did. Now, on that interception, Christian Watson went down with an injury. I forgot about that till now while I'm thinking about it. Christian Watson went down with an injury. Man, matter of fact, Vegas James, man, you might be the only person to know because I know you was watching. I know you watched that game from start to end for sure. It was your team playing. What was the injury on Christian Watson? What was that? What was the injury when he went down? Was it his collarbone or something? Did he fall funny on his collarbone? I can't remember what his injury was. And then also, its ramifications. Because also, I think I seen in the chat somebody said RIP to Micah Parsons' season. I think somebody said that because he also suffers a torn ACL, and so his season is done. It was a damn good year for Micah Parsons in Green Bay in year 1, cashing out. We know the whole journey with Jerry Jones and how he got there. Man, went and got a bag, and he put on. He finishes his season with 12.5 sacks. He's going to miss the last 3 games, almost the last month of the year, finishes with 12.5 sacks. So I hate to see his season end like this, especially with all the nonsense and noise of him having to, go through all that turmoil with Jerry Jones, and to see his season end like this, man, I hate that for Micah. I like Micah, man. Micah seems like a good dude. You know what I mean? I really hate to see that happen. But the Packers now going forward without Micah Parsons, right? And then Christian Watson what was his injury, dog? Because is he gonna be out? Is he gonna be missing any type of extended time? Damn, I'm drawing a blank. And that's the thing about Christian Watson is that he's been injured more time than not for this Packers team. But he got a late start to this season because he was coming back from an injury. And then he came back and he's been playing well. He's been a difference maker, right? And so to see him go down again, also losing Micah Parsons, this is a double-sided loss for the Packers now that we're talking about it. You already have a tough, hard-fought loss against a very damn good team in the Broncos, right? And then maybe now you lose 2 of your top 3 best players on the team, right? Because I'm thinking about what Jordan Love, Michael Parsons, and Christian Watson and Josh Jacobs, right? So you possibly lose 2 of the top 4 or 5 players on the team. Okay, J2 Trip, my dog Jay said he back at practice. Okay, good. Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was, man. I just remember when we was talking about the interception, I remember looking at him, he was just laying on the turf, face down. Meanwhile, Pat Surtanis, you know what I'm saying, is trying to run that thing back, and I couldn't remember what the injury was. Okay, so good. I'm glad it's nothing lasting or lingering, right, if he's back at practice because, like I said, he's a guy, man, he can't stay the injury or unable to perform list for sure. Let me see. But yeah, shout out to my dog Vegas James in those Denver Broncos. Let me see. Let's see. Sis said, what's up in the chat, man? Yeah, them members in the building. I appreciate that. Yeah, Sis said, hey, we definitely believe, and I got you. I got you. Oh, there it is, J2 Trill, man. I appreciate you, dog. That was the Colts remaining schedule. Real quick, I'm going to circle back to it since he dropped it for us, man. Niners, no, that's an L. I'm not going to give them the Niners or the Jags. No, yeah, they did. That's it. That's over. Yeah, they season done, boy. Yeah, that season's over with. Maybe the Niners, maybe if Brock goes out there and lays an egg, but Brock Purdy just played probably his best game of the season so far. And he's been playing pretty decent these last couple games, I want to say, but he definitely just came off probably his best performance. And so that Niners game is probably still a stretch, but that defense, their team is also pretty beat up, especially defensively. And so, you know, the Niners game may be the one I feel that they have the best chance of maybe stealing, but the Jags and Texans, I think both those teams are too hot, too talented, and just too familiar. Those are division rivals as well. So yeah, the Colts season, man, that's probably donezo. And then, yeah, shout out to my dog, J2 Trill. Man, you read my mind. I was just about to say, I wonder what's the home aways. So Niners at home does sway me a little bit. Niners at home does sway me. I think that's one, like, I don't think that, I can't consider them the favorite in any of those 3. So I definitely think they're the underdog in all of those 3. But if there's one that I had to maybe think that maybe they steal, maybe this Niners game at home. But when Trevor Lawrence is scoring 6 touchdowns, I'm not going to say you're going to beat Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence is scoring 6 touchdowns, the league need to be worried. You know what I mean? And then away in Houston to end the season with the way that defense is playing. If matter of fact, if I'm the Colts, I don't even know if y'all want to play. If I'm Phillip Rivers, I might not play that last game. I'm not going to Houston and letting Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter tee off on me. Are you crazy? You got your rabbit ass mind, man. I'm 44. I got grandchildren. All right? I'm not going to Houston to get beat on national TV. Yeah, the Colts season, man. Yeah, that's a tragic conclusion, man, to what started as a very promising season for the Colts. Monduce welcome in Vegas. James to the family, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. He said, good memory where I'm from residing. Boulder is a gamer. No memory's too big for him either. Hope he keeps the play up. Yeah, man. Hey, man, yeah, I know you just got here, playboy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. I'm almost something like a football savant, man. You know what I mean? I'm a walking football encyclopedia. You know what I mean? Ask me something about the 86 Bears. You know what I mean? That's where you at. You don't know where you at, playboy. I'm one of them guys, dog. Welcome to my dog, man. Vegas James in the building. Vegas James in the building, man. Yeah, let's go. Let me see. I was catching up on this chat real quick. We're going to get right back to it. See, that's what I was thinking. I thought he hurt his collarbone as well. But I think my dog J2 Trill said it was a false alarm that he's back practicing and everything was all good. Yeah, there we go. My dog J2 Trill said it's time for Sunday night. Yeah, man, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Sunday night, man. Minnesota at Dallas. And what happened, man? What happened? What happened? How y'all go from back-to-back victories over both Super Bowl participants, the Chiefs and the Eagles, to land 2 eggs? Like, this one right here, this is one, Dallas. You got to win this one, Jay. This is when you don't lose. You at the crib against J.J. McCarthy. And y'all remember how hard everybody was going on J.J. on Sunday? Jay, was that you, Jay? Did J2 Trill? Who was there on Sunday? Did J2 Trill ask us if J.J. McCarthy is the worst starting quarterback we'd ever seen? Was that you that said that? I hope that wasn't you that said that. I hope that wasn't you that said that, homeboy. He might have heard you. Because if you the one that said that, J.J. was playing like he heard you. J.J. McCarthy goes for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Does throw a pick, right? He still gave y'all one. But 2 touchdowns in the air, another one with his legs, so a 3-touchdown day. Big day for Jalen Naylor. He was the recipient of both those passing touchdowns, 2 touchdowns for 47 yards. Quiet day for Justin Jefferson, only 20 yards on 2 catches. I think he had a touchdown in this one, ended up getting called back on a penalty. But then on the other side, for Dak and those Cowboys, Dak goes for 294, no touchdowns in this one. Devontae Williams goes for 90 yards, has a rushing touchdown. CeeDee Lamb had a decent big day, 6 for 111. Quiet day for Pickens at 33 yards. And Brandon Aubrey, this was really the deciding factor in this game. Brandon Aubrey missed, 2 or 3 field goals in this one? Was it 2 or 3? Was it 2 or 3? But he's generally automatic. And then also, and it's hard to criticize him too much, because I think one of the kicks he missed was like from 60. It's Brandon Aubrey. He missed it, but it looked like it was probably good from about 67. Like, he missed it, and the ball was like 2/3 up the, you know what I'm saying? Not the pylon, the field goal stick, for lack of forgive me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It was like 2/3 up the right field goal. Damn, I keep calling it a stick because I can't decide what to call it. But not so. Boy, the kick probably was good from about 67. So even if it's a 60-yard kick, he missed it. It was good for 67. But those are still those are kicks you expect him to hit for sure, because that's who and what he's done. So they end up losing this game by 8. Okay, 4 for 6. There we go. Yeah, 4 for 6. Appreciate that, J2 Trill. 4 for 6. I was gonna say, I remember he missed 2. I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3. Okay, so he missed 2. Did he miss an extra point too? No, maybe it was just 2 kicks. Forgive me. Maybe it was just 2. But those missed kicks were the difference in this game for a stretch there. There was a stretch in which y'all would have had the lead had he, I know I want to say it was a time where y'all was down 4, and the difference in that game was essentially from y'all having the lead and now was those 2 missed field goals. And so rough game for him there. But the Vikings, man, they found a way to rally and go steal this one from Dallas. Now, y'all's playoff hopes now. What's y'all record now, bro? Y'all, it's week 15. So what are y'all? Y'all 7? Are y'all 7, 8, and 1? I believe y'all may be 7, 8, and 1. You got to correct me if I'm wrong. But y'all had a chance to backdoor these playoffs, man. When y'all came off those back-to-back victories over the Eagles and then the Chiefs over that Thanksgiving weekend, y'all had a chance to backdoor those playoffs, man, and then it's like those efforts are gonna fall short. But what could have been, Dallas? What could have been? Let me see. What's y'all record now, man? Hold on. Oh, 6, 7, and 1. Okay, I think I said 7. Okay, 6, 7, and 1. 6, 7, and 1. Okay. And I saw a clip of an interview when they were asking Shotty, Brian Schottenheimer, as far as his plans with the playoffs, being no longer being in contention with the playoffs realistically, what the plan was for, the established veterans, Dak, CD, some of these guys. And, he said unequivocally, man, that they still going to show up, play every game to win. And so it doesn't look like they're going to sit or rest anyone. Jay said y'all still got a chance, but the Eagles got to lose out. I don't know if they're going to lose out. They might drop another one. I don't know what their schedule look like either. They may drop one more, depending on who they play. But I don't know, losing out might be too much of a, that might be too much to ask for, to lose out. Let me see, where we going? Boom, boom, boom. We did that. Matter of fact, there's a couple here that I'm just going to blow through to make up some time. And actually, real quick, let's talk about this one really quickly here. So Tennessee on the road at Seattle. Seattle gets this done 37-24. And like I was saying just a minute ago, Brock Purdy probably played his best game of the season. I think now he'd been hampered with injury, of course, that whole first half. And then, working himself back into his own little groove, 300 yards, well, just short of 300 yards, 295 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns, no picks, another 44 on the ground. Christian McCaffrey adds roughly 75 yards in the touchdown on the ground. Ricky Pearsall goes for 96 yards. George Kittle goes for 88 in a touchdown. Juwan Jennings has 2 touchdowns in this one as well in the victory. And then, let's see, Cam Ward, 170 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. TP, Tony Pollard, 100-yard game, another 100-yard game. I think his second back-to-back 100-yard performance after he hit the Browns for about $150. A 100-yard day against these Niners, another touchdown as well. And then, man, shout out to defensive lineman Justin Simmons, man. He had a touchdown in this one as well for the Titans. And then here's the thing, man, because the Niners. Shout out to J2 Trill. He just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say that. The Niners are playing, like they feel so under the radar. They're a 10-win team. The Niners have the same record as the Seahawks, as the Jaguars, because they're 10-4, I believe. They're only 1 game back of the Rams. Matter of fact, my dog Chopping here, I think the Rams are 11-3. I'm not mistaken. So the Niners only 1 game back of the Rams. And I think they had the same record at 10-4 as the Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken. And so a year completely decimated by injury. It feels like this is a regular rinse and repeat for the Niners. They made some style of NFC Championship run and then 20 guys on IR. You know what I mean? They've been going back and forth since the days of Jimmy G, right? And so that's been a long-standing pattern for them, unfortunately. And so this year was in that pattern. Everybody and anybody was banged up and beat up all throughout this season. And then, of course, culminating with Brock Purdy, they got fantastic step-in performances from Mac Jones, right? Mac Jones, who made himself some money. Mac Jones has made himself some money, especially when we see $55 million Tua Tagovailoa getting benched in Miami. You gonna tell me Miami might not want to take a swing or take a run at Mac Jones, right? Because Mac Jones on a 1-year deal in San Francisco, right? So a team like Miami, a team like Minnesota, you know what I mean? You wouldn't want to backdoor and maybe go get Mac Jones, because Mac Jones showed himself well now in about 5 relief starts for those Niners, right? Now he had some moments as well. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for sure, but he had a lot more good ball than bad ball in his time as a starter for sure. And there was conversation in Discord whether or not Mac Jones should remain the starter regardless of when Brock Purdy's ready to come back from his injuries. That was a real conversation that a lot of folks were having. So Mac Jones, I think, has made himself a lot of money. And I definitely think, man, like I said, the Niners and the Vikings come to mind immediately. You know what I mean? As teams that should at least make a call and inquire about his services for sure. And then the other thing about this as well, Brandon Ayuk, man, he should have been in Pittsburgh. Maybe in hindsight, maybe I'm glad he's not. No, I'm not going to say that because I don't think the story plays out this way if he brought his ass to Pittsburgh like he was supposed to, but he didn't. And so refusing to play, there's a dispute over his contract and guaranteed monies. The NFLPA is definitely going to be involved, if not already involved. But it sounds like he refused to complete rehab at the facility. I don't know, man. And I don't know what all went on behind the scenes. And if you know anything about his history with Kyle Shanahan, it's been a rocky relationship from the jump, right? And so early in his career, Ayuk wasn't getting a lot of burn because he was just in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse. And, they had recovered or remedied that. He balled. It's hard to remember just 2 years ago, Brandon Ayuk was easily a top 5 receiver in football for that season, that dominant season that he had, or one of the more dominant seasons that he had. He was a guy in those style of top 5 conversations for that time. And now to see like where it is, costing yourself man, what was that deal? He signed for 30 a year. I think it was $120 million. Was it 4 years at 30 per? 4 years at 30 a pop? And so to really just tank that and let that go and set that aside in year one of getting paid. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know, man, that's a wild story. I'm curious to see where Ayuk lands, right? Because it's done in San Francisco. So I'm curious to see just where he lands for sure. Because when healthy and motivated, I guess, he's shown that he could be a true number one option. Honestly, he can be a guy that you can center the offense around. We saw that. We saw him be the primary guy in the passing attack over the likes of a Deebo Samuels or whatnot. So I'm curious to see how that plays out and shakes out for Brandon Ayuk. Carolina on the road at New Orleans. New Orleans is quietly playing pretty decent ball with Tyler Shuck, the rookie Tyler Shuck as their starting quarterback. They go and steal one from Carolina. Carolina had a chance to really put themselves in the driver's seat in that NFC South if they beat the Saints, coupled with that Tampa Bay loss. Then their next week's game against Tampa Bay could have won them the division. Well, instead, Tampa Bay loses. They also drop the game to New Orleans and they're still chasing Tampa Bay, so they need to beat Tampa Bay and additional to win that division. But quiet as kept, man, those Panthers had a chance to maybe cost themselves a prime opportunity there, but they're still not out of it. They, like I said, they still definitely have a chance to win that NFC South. We'll see how that plays out as well. Let me see. Oh, here we go, man. How we did all this talking? They ain't got to this Detroit Lions and Rams game yet, man. I don't know if my dog Chop's still in the building, but if we are, man, it's your time. Detroit on the road at Los Angeles. Rams win this game 41-34. Now, the big thing in this one as well, and the NFL has got a lot of explaining to do, because I don't know, like in the last 2-3 weeks, we have reestablished what's considered a touchdown catch. Then we changed that. The called touchdown in this one. And this play stopped and this was reviewed, right? Cody Parkinson's touchdown, he had 2 touchdowns in this game. But the one, if y'all remember, it's on the right, toward the right front pylon, because he wasn't in the end zone. Right? So he catches the ball, or he's attempting to catch the ball. He doesn't complete the process. His knees on the ground at like the 1.5 yard line. He drops the ball. He doesn't survive the ground. He recovers the ball sliding into the end. And so out of all the things that could have happened on that call, it could have been a bad call would have considered it like a catch and just give them the ball at the 1.5 or the 1.5, 2 yard line. That'd have been a bad call, but I don't know. Okay. But to give them the touchdown there, that's egregious, NFL. And you know what? Maybe I thought the NFL was going to push that button for the Chiefs. Nah, maybe we really pushing this button for the Rams, man. Maybe we pushing this button for the Rams, because I can't understand for the life of me any justification, explanation, or rationale for how that was a touchdown catch. And man, hey, you know what? J2 Trio, you just took the words out of my mouth again. I was just about to say it. Man, I thought the Dez Bryant overturn was bad. This was worse than that, because when I said Bryant catch, it was unequivocally a catch. Like, he caught the ball, and then he dove or lunged for the end zone. And then as he falls, the ball, like moves or loses it, but he recovered. He never lost possession. I feel good about that being a catch. I remember I was in Houston watching that game, matter of fact. I was in Houston with a few of my dogs, man. We was at a bar. We was watching that game. It was a playoff game against the Packers. It was either the Packers or the Seahawks, I want to say, on the road. And up the left sideline, that left front pylon, I can still see it happening right now. And so in my mind, I was like, okay, it's not going to be a touchdown. Ball's going to be down at the 1. Dallas should be able to punch it in. But when they overturned that call, mine was blown. I was like, man, damn, that's crazy, man. It's a hard night life out here. That's crazy. Watching this touchdown for Cody Parkinson against Detroit, that's blasphemy. It's egregious. Highway robbery. I'm trying to think of all the colorful words to tell you how that was just flat out, I don't want to curse, hot fooey. I don't know what else to call it, man. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. And like I said, I don't know. There's been a lot of discourse for a number of years now about referees. Should they be full-time, et cetera, things that are done to hold them accountable for these style of calls. And then honestly, if I'm an NFLPA, something's got to be done because there's got to be some style of checks and balances for these referees. The whole having plays reviewed in New York. Sometimes they step in without needing a challenge. Sometimes they don't. And it doesn't always make sense about the times that they do and that they don't. It just seems very subjective, very almost willy-nilly, right? And then also the fact that New York is the hub of reviews, because the reviews used to be the referees at stadium or in that little bitty ass headset, and they're reviewing and making the call. Well, that's not how it happens no more. New York is controlling this with all the angles. They got all the 8K angles you want, and they still return piss poor calls like this one, this touchdown credited for Cody Parkinson, which is outrageous. And then also, Detroit Lions are fighting for their playoff life. They lose this game by a score. This is a one-score game, 41-34, with that bullshit touchdown on the board. You see what I'm saying? So that was horrendous call. Now, speaking to Stafford in the Rams themselves, big day for Stafford, 368 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, both of those to Parker. Yeah, both of those to Cody Parkinson caught both of those. And then also threw an interception. Kyron Williams. The running game was big in this one and was really the difference. The running game for the Rams mirrored or was way more impactful. If anything, we'd have thought that it was going to be the Lions running game with Jahmyr Gibbs, best in the business, and then with David Montgomery. So you'd have thought if you're going to pick which run game was going to be more successful, it'd been the Lions. Well, it was the Rams running game that was the story in this one. Kyron Williams, 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. Blake Corum, 71 yards. He also adds a touchdown. Big day for Puka Nacua, 9 catches. 181 receiving yards in this one. We already talked about the 2 touchdowns, one extremely questionable by Cody Parkinson. And then also news in this one, Devontae Adams, no touchdowns. I believe that breaks his touchdown streak. Devontae Adams, how many touchdowns was he up to? I think he was up to we talked about it a couple shows ago as well. He had to be up to 8 touchdowns over the last 7 weeks or something to that effect. I feel like he scored a touchdown in each of the last 4 or 5 or 6 games. He had been on an incredible streak in the short red zone, especially. He got with injury in this one, man. He finishes with 4 for 71. It was a deep route. He's running up the left seam, and then he pulls up, hobbles up, grabs that hamstring, and goes down. I'm not sure if we've heard anything on the severity of the hamstring pull or aggravation that we saw they go down with, but that's big. Him and Matt Stafford, it was a rocky kind of start, right, with Devontae just coming over in free agency. It was a little cold them to get on the same page to start the season, but then once we got to that midpoint on, they locked in the red zone. They found something special, and they had been tearing teams up, especially, like I said, just one-on-one in that short red zone. Devontae being damn near unguardable off the line of scrimmage, right? And then they've been cashing in. And so to see him go down with that possible hamstring injury, I don't know how long or the severity of the hamstring, but hamstrings are one of those things, especially it's one of those lingering soft tissue injuries where it doesn't fully ever go away. Not while you're still stressing it, and it's going to get stressed because there's 3 games left, and they're vying for the number 1 seed in the NFC. So they don't have any room to slack or let up. They can't let up on their pace because they've got stiff competition from in their own division. The Seahawks and the Niners are both 10-win teams, right? And so they're right there in that mix. We know what's going on with the Chicago Bears. They're also having a fantastic season. The Green Bay Packers just coming off of a tough loss, but they're to the Broncos in the AFC, but they're still firmly right there in that mix. And so the Rams aren't home safe now at all for that top spot in the NFC. And so possibly, if not losing Devontae Adams for a number of games or so, but him being maybe hampered or having to deal with a drawn-out hamstring going into this stretch run before the playoffs, that's big, man. That's a big That's something definitely to keep your eye on. Man, if my dog Chop still in here, man. Did they say anything about the extent of the hamstring for Devontae? Was it a full-fledged like pull or you know what I mean? Or I wonder if they've said anything about just how serious or isn't. Let me see. Let me catch up on this chat. It's been a little minute. Oh, man. Hey, there he is, man. Hey, there he is. Hey, shout out to my dog, Keandre, man. The captain back in the building, Playboy. Hey, man. Hey, Playboy. Hey, where you been, man? Hey, where you been, man? Yeah, shout out to my dog, Keandre, man. Yeah, man, come on, man. What's going on? Man, we already we already talked about your Chiefs a little earlier. But matter of fact, man, the floor is yours, big dog. Man, go ahead and drop something in the chat, man. I'll put you on the board. You know what I mean? If you want to say any goodbyes or give some thoughts on how the season played out, some thoughts about the future outlook for your Chiefs. You know what I mean? One of the things we were talking about, my dog Miles was in here earlier. So he's one of the members of Chiefs Kingdom we were talking about. And then also my dog Isaiah, man, he's a Chargers fan, but we were all talking about it, right? The outlook going forward. Because it's the ACL. I know he had that surgery they announced, and the surgery was successful. The ACL full tear, and then the LCL also impacted. And there's questions about realistically if Pat's going to be ready for the start of the 2026 season. And just how quickly do you rush him back? And then also, it's definitely the writings on the wall. It's time for a reset. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta get some new blood in there, man. Y'all gotta revamp that offensive line, right? We've seen you got two stalwart pieces at your center and your left guard, and Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. Trey Smith, left guard, right guard. He might be the right guard, excuse me. But so you've got those two pieces there, but the rest of that O-line, all those guys can be replaced. You know what I mean? Well, no, I take that back. You draft Justin Simmons from Ohio State at left tackle. He was injured before he got there. He played, he took some lumps, but then he was injured again. So you hope to maybe develop and secure that left tackle spot. That right tackle spot, Jawan Taylor's got to go, man. Jawan Taylor's got to go. You definitely got to revamp that. Like I said, you need one more. You need one more piece on that offensive line. You definitely got to revamp that running game. It's time to go ahead. Hey, Kareem Hunt, we appreciate your services, Playboy. We appreciate you coming back into the fold. We appreciate what you did. You know what I mean? But, hey, man, we moving on, big dog. Isaiah Pacheco, you know what I mean? Running like a rabid pit bull. We appreciate your contributions, big dog. We appreciate you. It's time for you to go. You know what I mean? I want them both out of there. I want to revamp that whole running game for sure. You definitely need two more pieces on that offensive line. No Kizzy. And also, y'all don't really necessarily have room in that receiving group because y'all got bodies in there, but I still think there's something missing from that receiving room, man. There's still something missing. Now, Rashee Rice is, he's a slot hash-to-hash volume receiver. He's shifty. He's good with the ball in his hands, open field. One of those guys, man, you find a way to get the ball in his hands and let him make the first guy miss, and he turns those 6-yard completions into 12 and 14-yard gains. So, I like him there, right? You've got a lot of speed, right, with Isaiah, man, why am I blanking? Isaiah Worthy and Hollywood Brown. Now, Hollywood Brown has been there on back-to-back short-term deals. Did he just sign a one-year deal when he came from Arizona, and then did they just add a second year to it? But I'm not sure exactly what his future looks like, how much of it is tied to Kansas City. But even still, I don't know if he's the piece y'all need, man. Exactly, there you go. You don't have the true number one option. That's what I was getting at. I don't think Hollywood Brown is necessarily the piece you need. And then also his skill set is more or less redundant to what you got in the young guy, Worthy. You know what I mean? So I can see y'all letting Hollywood Brown go. Travis Kelce's retiring. You got to revamp that O-line, revamp that running game for sure. And so, I'm curious to see what the rebuild looks like. There for sure. Man, he said Hunt can stay, bro. Hunt our age, dog. Hunt our age, man. Pull the Band-Aid off, man. L-I-G it, Reggie. Let it go. Hunt 37 years old, man. No, maybe not 37. He's probably about 34. But in NFL running back years, 34 might as well be 48. 34 might as well be 48, man. And Kareem Hunt, boy, he had a lot of tough wear and tear, goal line, fullback style carries in that offense, man. You know what I mean? Hey, we appreciate your contribution. It's time for you to go, Playboy. Y'all need new blood. Don't try to hold on to the old. Hold on to the old is what got y'all where y'all at right now. Holding on too long, man. Pull those Band-Aids off. Patty's knee getting torn up and possibly not quite being at full strength to start the season. That's the perfect excuse to kind of clean house because we don't know what the next season is going to look like with Patty coming back from the knee, and then how long until he's comfortable again on that knee and working through working through the injury. So he still may not be himself for the first month of the season, right? And then that's, of course, assuming that there's no more additional nicks, bumps, and bruises to it. So next year for y'all may more or less be, it's set up for y'all to go ahead, take y'all lump. I think it's best to go ahead and take that lump in one shot. Patty's already going to be injured. I would say take your time with Pat's knee, tear that roster apart, or, do a hard reset, bring Patty back slowly, and then honestly, man, play the long game for 27. Now, my dog Isaiah said Patty take a gap year. I'm not talking about no full-fledged gap year. You know what I mean? Not no full-fledged gap year, but this is the perfect opportunity to really get an influx of new young blood in that team and in that roster for sure, man. And y'all overdue for it. And y'all gonna overdo for it. Oh, Jay said he gonna be gone for the full year. You think so, dog? ACLs ain't hitting like that no more, man. Maybe back in the day, man, we seen Adrian Peterson come back he tore all 3 ligaments in 8 months. He came back and ran for 2K. Now that's Adrian Peterson, though. It's Adrian Peterson. But that's all I was saying. 9-10 months is probably what we see now commonly. You know what I mean? On those ACLs, I'd say probably closer to even closer to 9. Let's just call it an even 9. So 9 takes him to the start of the season, right? So that's like the realistic window for return. And that's if he comes back quick, ideally. But honestly, like I said, with the way the roster looks, and I think what needs to happen, I don't see a reason to rush him. So yeah, I don't necessarily see a reason to rush him. Said Wanye Morris got to go. Wanye Morris got to go. He shouldn't be a regular in the lineup anyway, though. You know what I mean? He shouldn't be a regular in the lineup anyway. You said he could sit for 6 months? Or are you talking about he could sit for 6 games? That's realistic because he's definitely going to start the year on the PUP list, I would imagine. I don't imagine he's going to be ready day one roster at all. Because he's not going to be ready for training, off-season activity, et cetera, et cetera. So he's probably going to start the year on the PUP list. And yeah, I think you're right. The PUP list is at 4 to 6 games. I think it's a mandatory 4 to 6 games once you put on the PUP list. So that's not out of the question at all. And honestly, I think that makes the most sense because, like I keep saying, it's use this time, make that time work for you. You know what I mean? It's already going to be a rough go without Pat, and even with, you know what I mean? So make that time work for you. Take those lumps, you know what I mean, and do a hard reset. So that way, when Pat's back in full force, now you're ready to have the second act of that dynasty run. Or, you know what I mean, you're ready to get a jump on it, as opposed to, like we've seen with the Patriots, where after the lights go out and then you have an extended kind of lull, 2, 3, 4 years before, you know what I'm saying, we revamp and we reload and then we come back and go on another run. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah, Jawan Taylor, man, I don't even understand why he got paid leaving Jacksonville. He was the same player in Jacksonville when they went and got him. But now, the Chiefs been bargain shot as well because they were so top heavy. That Patrick Mahomes contract, which is, especially in hindsight, was a deal. He's hella underpaid right now, right? But that Patrick Mahomes deal, the Travis Kelce deal, the Chris Jones deal, you know what I mean? So you did have to do a little bargain shopping. They go get Jawan Taylor. But honestly, I don't even know how much, you didn't even buy the discount. I think Jawan Taylor deal was 3 for $60. I think he signed 3 years, $60 million, 20 a year. So y'all paid damn good money to go get Jawan Taylor, which was an overpay. And so, that's Jawan Taylor might be one of the few misses that Brett Veach and that Chiefs front office have had, because they've been pretty money. You know what I mean? They've been pretty money for the most part, but that Jawan Taylor offering or signing is definitely probably the worst. It's the one that's coming to mind right now. Is easily the one that stands out. Definitely the one that stands out for me. But yeah, let me see what else we got. Let me see. I know we talked about the Rams. Boom, boom, boom. We already talked about them Chiefs. Oh, is that everybody? No, man. We'll touch on these Eagles real quick, man. The Eagles beat up on the Raiders 31-0. Kenny Pickett played terrible. Now, this is why I wanted to point this game out, matter of fact. Because I want y'all to understand what my Steelers been dealing with, man. Y'all want to talk about we haven't been to the playoffs. We haven't won a playoff game. Did y'all see Kenny Pickett on Sunday? Kenny Pickett may have had the worst, one of, if not the worst. It was one of the absolute worst performances that we've ever seen from a quarterback playing in this wasn't in relief. Kenny Pickett was 15 for 25. He had 25 pass attempts. He had 64 for the game. 64 yards for the game. Josh Allen might have 64 yards on his first 2 pass completions. Kenny Pickett, 64 yards in 4 quarters of professional football. Come on, man. This is the guy I had trying to throw George Pickens the ball, man. This is the guy that Mike Tomlin had to claw a 500 record with. Man, this is the guy we had to go into the playoffs. Kenny Pickett. That's why when y'all come at my coach, man, when people want to talk about Mike Tomlin and us not making it to the playoffs or winning the playoffs, we were a playoff contending team, winning team with guys like Kenny Pickett, man. That's why I had to bring it up. And then this was a nice bounce back victory for the Raiders, like we knew it would be, man. They came off an ugly loss to the Chargers. Jalen Hurts played the worst game of his career. 4 interceptions, a terrible game in overtime against the Chargers last Monday night. So this teed up perfectly as a nice get-back game for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts goes 12 for 15 for 175 yards, 3 touchdowns, another 40 rushing. Saquon has about 80 yards and a touchdown in this one. Dallas Goedert had a good day, 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then A.J. Brown also had a touchdown in this one as well. But yeah, man, I just need y'all to understand what my Steelers been dealing with. When Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph, we went to the playoffs with a quarterback named Duck Hodges. The boy's first name was Duck. His first name was Duck. Not like get down. Duck like the bird, man. This guy, we went to the playoffs with this guy. Come on, man. Man, come on, man. I'm telling you, it's been hard out here for these, man. Y'all don't know what I've been going through. Y'all don't know what I've been going through, man. Washington on the road at the Giants marks a dub against the Jackson Dart-led Giants, 29-21. Let's see if there's anything of note to talk about in this one. No, not really. Scary Terry has a touchdown in this one. Rookie Bill Krosky-Merritt has 96 yards and a touchdown as well in this one. But nothing of note, man. I ain't gonna make us talk about that one. What else we got? Oh, man, did we skip over Baltimore and Cincinnati? Baltimore on the road at Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's struggles continue. This was the rematch from the upset. Joe Burrow's first game back, Thanksgiving night, defeating the Ravens in Baltimore. I almost caught a brain fart, man. Defeating the Ravens in Baltimore on Thanksgiving night. This was the perfect cap to my Thanksgiving night. This was a fantastic night when I watched the Bengals beat those punk-ass Ravens. Now, the Ravens get the return favor, man. Baltimore goes to Cincinnati, or to the Cincinnati Bengals home and return that favor and shut those boys out at the crib 24-0 in this one. All right, quiet day all around for the most part. Lamar was only 8 for 12 for 150 yards in this one. Did throw 2 touchdowns, had an interception. Let's see, Derrick Henry had 100 yards on only 11 carries in this one. Zay Flowers caught a touchdown pass in this one as well. But Joe Burrow, man, here's the thing. Just last week, Joe Burrow and those Bengals are taking it to Big Josh and the Bills in Buffalo. In Buffalo, mind you, in the snow, on Big Josh and the Bills. Joe Burrow comes out there and throws 2 interceptions on back-to-back possessions, the first of those interceptions being a pick 6. right? I tried to give him just a little bit of context because the first interception, it was a fantastic play by the defense. He's trying to lob it over him, over a blitzer. The guy's blitzing and then is able to stop, get up in the air and grab that ball. Stop your own momentum, running full speed at the quarterback. That's a fantastic. The very next possession, though, Joe comes out, throws another interception. You can't do that. Then, after you threw the 2 interceptions to cost that game, then you get in the post-game interview, and you start talking about how you ain't having fun no more. Man, I might be ready to get up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Whoop-de-whoop. You talking all this yang-yang. You talking all this yang-yang about the organization down. Now, honestly, there's truth there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And that Bengals fire been burning for a long time, man. That Bengals fire been burning for a long time. So it's not that anything he said was untrue. But that's not the time to make those statements or sentiments when you the guy that maybe threw this game away. Literally. I was going to say, yeah, literally, pun intended. You probably threw that Bills game away. And then you come back at the crib and you get blanked. You get 21 at the crib. And you know what you do? You throw another 2 interceptions, bro. Come on, man. 225 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You know what I mean? So that's a rough, ugly day. But again, it's the Bengals, man. If nothing else, the Bengals will bungle. You know what I'm saying? I know better. And then, yeah, shout out to the Ravens. No, not shout out to the Ravens. Not shout out to the Ravens. Dirty ass, punk ass, rat bird Ravens. Not shout out to the Ravens, but they do get that dub and get that dub 24-0. 24-0. Let me see. We still got another one. Cleveland on the road at Chicago. Chicago spanks in this one, man. And you know what's crazy? We were talking on Sunday about this game. We talked about how Cleveland was a live dog. Like, Cleveland had a chance to be a live dog in this one. It's supposed to be like a cold, very windy day. That Browns defense, Myles Garrett, whoop-de-whoop. We said all the things. That Browns offense playing with a new style of confidence. Faith in their young quarterback who's shown that he can put up some stats. He can put some numbers up, man. We can score some points. So they playing with a new swag, a new confidence, feeling good about them. We talked them up that this could be a upset alert, man. We did everything but call for the upset in this one. Chicago went out there and beat them boys' ass, man. Chicago out there and beat the you-know-what out of these Browns 31-3. Caleb Williams goes for 242, 2 touchdowns and no picks. DeAndre Swift had a big day, 98 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Luther Burton, I see you, Mo. That's another one of Mizzou's finest played, boy. 6 for 8 in this one. And DJ Moore also had a big day, 70 yards and 2 touchdowns as well in this one. So just dominant performance for sure. Then on the other side, very, very, very rough day for Shedeur Sanders. 177 passing yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions in this one. Now, one of them interceptions should have been a touchdown to Jerry Jeudy. Jerry is up the right sideline. Defender can't see him. Defender's playing his chest. Shedeur puts the ball right on the defender's ear. Jerry Jeudy turns, jumps, catches the ball, and then between the time of him catching the ball and trying to put the ball away and laying in bounds, he instead gets the ball taken from, was that Tyreek Stevenson, the corner? No, that was Jalen Johnson. I believe, the corner from the Bears, who ended up coming down with an interception, would look to be a touchdown. And so, but that's Jerry Jeudy being Jerry Jeudy. That's just Jerry Jeudy being Jerry Jeudy, man. But he does throw 3 interceptions on the day. Let me see. I guess Myles Garrett does have a sack and a half in this one, for what that's worth, and they got the doors blown off of you. He did clean up and get a sack and a half. I think he's 2 sacks away now from the record that's currently being held by my dog TJ Watt and Michael Strahan. So we'll see. He's still got what, 2? I think the Browns I think have 3 games left. So he's got 2-3 games to get 2 sacks to break that record. Boy, I hope you don't touch another quarterback for the rest of the year, Myles Garrett. But we shall see. And there we go. I think that's it. That's all, man. We got through all of those. Now we can talk a little bit about this Thursday night game, man. And matter of fact, my dog Chop's still in this thing. He said the Browns defense been getting ran through these last 2 weeks. They damn sure have. It started with TP. Free TP. TP free now. It started with our dog TP. When TP hit them boys for $150. And the thing about Tony Pollard's $150 is he did it when Cam Ward threw for like 120 yards total in that game. And it's the Titans. They ain't got shit going. You know what I mean? So there wasn't any reason, like there were no threats in the game. Cam Ward threw 2 interceptions and 120 total yards in that game, bro. You know what I mean? And Tony Pollard goes up there and chews y'all up for $150? That's crazy, right? That's crazy. And then now DeAndre Swift, he puts another 100 on you and 2 touchdowns as well. That's crazy. And you're not getting you're not getting a lot of production from Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins, the rookie running back from Ohio State, he had really kind of heated up there in that early to mid part of the season. But this second half stretch, I don't know if he hit that rookie wall or not, but you haven't got much of anything from Quinshon Judkins on the other side, as far as, maybe running the ball and then also helping to take some of that pressure off of, your rookie Shadur Sanders as well. And so, it's a double whammy. They stopped being able to run the ball, and now they getting ran through. And so, good call out by my dog Chop. Good call out by my dog Chop. J2 Trill said, how many sacks do you think Myles Garrett finishes with? How many he got right now? He got 21 and a half right now. I think he finishes the season with 21. Punk ass Myles Garrett. I like to clear my thoughts, man. But realistically, I'm not sure who else they got left on the schedule. I think they do play. No, they play the Ravens. They play the Ravens one more time. They play the Ravens and the Steelers. So they 3 games. One's my Steelers. One's the Ravens. And I'm not sure who their other game is. They've got 3. But I hope he don't get another one. I don't hope he don't get another sack while he's wearing a Cleveland Browns jersey. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. If he never got a sack again, it wouldn't make me no never mind. He got 21 and a half right now. I hope he finishes with 21 and a half. That's what I like. That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to see. Or you know what? 22. 22. To let you know you was almost as good as TJ Watt's season was. That's what I hope personally. But that's just me. Now, let's talk about Thursday night, man. We got a good game tomorrow. Sam Darnold gets his chance at redemption, right? The Rams are traveling to Seattle for the second game of this series. Like I said, Sam Darnold played easily the worst game of the season for sure, right? He reverted back to New York, Sam Darnold. That's what it was. He went to L.A. and reverted back to New York Jets, Sam Darnold. The man threw 4 interceptions in that game. In the game, they lost by 3. I think they lost to the Rams by 2 or 3 points in that game. Mind you, he threw 4 picks. So now he gets a chance at redemption. This one's in his building, right? In his building. And so I did go with the Seahawks in their building. They're definitely... I expect them to just play a lot better. I expect him to play a lot better personally, for sure. And then also that Seattle defense, that Seattle crowd stadium is one of the loudest, if not the loudest stadium in the league. Them and Kansas City generally go back and forth about whose stadium is louder. And so in that building and on a short week, on a Thursday, in that loud-ass stadium, that's a tough place to play. And that's a tough position to be in if you're the Rams. Also, the Rams coming off of a very tough, hard-fought game against the Lions. That bullshit touchdown call for Cody Parkinson that soured it just a little bit. But hey, man, you got to get your wins where you can get them. So I ain't gonna blame them. That's on the referees. You understand me? I ain't gonna blame the Rams. I ain't hating on them. But the referees, they was on that BS. Or at least on that one. They did look to be the better team. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say that. But now they've got a short turnaround on the road in Seattle with that loud ass stadium, man. So that's a tough ask for the Rams. Then also, my dog Chop, man, if you're in here still, I don't know the extent of that hamstring with Devontae. Like, is Devontae gonna be able to go 4 days after pulling that hamstring on TV in the second half of that game? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have Devontae on this shorter turnaround. I would assume not. I would assume Devontae's out, right, tomorrow night, and he's definitely been the best red zone threat they've had this season thus far. Puka Nacua wasn't even on the field. He hasn't even been on the field in the short red zone. You know what I mean? And so Devontae being out, especially in this one where, we're touchdowns, getting 6s instead of 3s is going to be the difference in this game, I think, for sure. And so with Devontae likely not being out on the short week, on a Thursday, in Seattle, as loud as that stadium is, like I said, that's a tall order. So I've got Seattle and Sam Darnold getting some redemption, getting this one done 27-24. Woo! Boom, there it is. Have it. And matter of fact, my dog Chop, man, if you in here, give me a score. I know you taking your guys, but give me a score, man. I'm going to catch up on this chat in the meantime as well. Let me see. Hey, man. Hey, I know, man. Hey, I told Keandre, man, we had to send a search party, man. Hey, we had to send a search party. I'm glad my dog made it back, man. We had to send a search party for my dog Keandre. She said, the captain back in the thing, man. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, Keandre, dog, man. Hey. Oh, we got a boxing episode coming soon. I already told everybody, man, when I first got on, I said, hey, look here, I know we're in the heart of football season. We're going to have a bonus boxing episode dropping soon, dog. This weekend, we're going to talk some boxing for sure. Because I almost wanted to talk about it. I was going to use Bud's retirement as, like the soft opener, you know what I mean, to kind of talk and chat while everybody's getting in and getting comfortable. But we jumped in and started talking just straight ball right at the door, which probably worked out best, man, because I don't want to shortchange that Bud conversation. And just honestly, that greater scene conversation. It's a lot of boxing news we got to talk about, dog. The Bud Crawford retirement for sure. You know what I mean? Shout out to Bud. Jake Paul and they fight this weekend, or they fight Friday. Teofimo and Shakur, their fight's coming up. We got to talk about Debo Dev Haney taking over 147, being the king down there now. You know what I'm saying? Man, there's tons of stuff going on in boxing, man. We overdue. We've been overdue, but we definitively now overdue for a bonus boxing episode, dog. So I'm gonna put that in the works for sure. Then also with Bud retiring, because Canelo had just came out 3 days ago, or his camp that came out and said that they decided they do want to pursue the Bud Crawford rematch, but instead of May, they wanted to have the rematch in September, right? For Mexican Independence Day again. They wanted to run it back in September again instead of May, because Canelo only fights twice a year. May and September are the two biggest Mexican holidays, and so they were eyeing a potential rematch with Bud for next September. Well, now with Bud retired, what's left for Canelo? You know what I mean? Like, what's Canelo do now? So it's a lot of stuff we got to talk about, dog. It's a lot of stuff to talk about, man. We're gonna get a full-fledged bonus boxing episode. I'm gonna put that together, big dog. I'm gonna put that together. We definitely got tons to talk about, man. We got tons to talk about. My dog can't say Mbili as interim is nasty. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, dog. That Mbili in Mbili's last fight, Mbili in what's old boy name? That was a hell of a fight. Mbili just fought. Oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy now, dog. Now it's gonna drive me crazy. Mbili just had a hell of a fight with old boy, and he's also in Bud Crawford's camp. He's trained by Bojack. He's trained by the same guy that trains Bud. Man, I'm blanking on dude's name. But they had a hell of a fight. And I think it was a draw. It was a draw as well. And so there already were talks about them rematching that close-ass fight. And so now Mbili gets, put up the interim. And so, it's a lot to talk about for sure, bro. Yeah, we definitely gonna get a good boxing episode in for sure. Let me see who's that in the building, man. Joseph Powell, 8657. What's going on, big dog? Said Bud ain't got nothing to prove. And you know what? Like, I'm a huge Bud fan, so I feel good about his career. But as far as legacy is concerned, the argument is always gonna be there, right? About like the quality of opponent. And honestly, here's the thing about it. I don't even want to say the quality of opponent, because I don't think the problem was that he didn't fight good fighters. he fought good fighters for sure, but he didn't necessarily get the chance to fight big name fighters. It's not that he was fighting bums, but he just didn't get the opportunity to fight a lot of guys with names that we know. You know what I'm saying? Because like more people know Ryan Garcia than they know Mean Machine. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. More people know Frank Martin than they did man, just name them. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys on his record. And so I'm comfortable with Bud's legacy. 3-time undisputed in this 4-belt era is, you know what I mean? Undisputed at 40. Julius Ngannou, you know what I'm saying? Winning and beating that guy back down there. You know what I mean? And then also, we forget where, man, I ain't gonna get too deep in it, Joseph Powell, because I'm gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back and have a full-fledged boxing episode. You know what I'm saying? I call it bonus boxing. You know what I mean? Because we primarily, especially in football season, we go hard on football, but then every now and again, man, I have a bonus boxing episode where it's just a show dedicated to boxing. So we gonna definitely get into all of that for sure. But I'm with you though, bro. 3-time undisputed. Going and taking, not like dominating the guy at 47. And I'm not gonna give Earl. I don't give Earl Spence any kudos or credit. I'm not putting no cut on Earl Smith or on Earl Spence for that car crash and partying and kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's on Earl. Nobody gives a damn about Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson being coked out and having 30 prostitutes in a room with Bobby Brown until 6 a.m. the day he got knocked out by Buster Douglas. That shit don't mean nothing, man. You got knocked by Buster, and then you wasn't the same. You know what I mean? So people hold that against Mike. I'm not letting Earl off the hook. Nobody told you to want to run around with Yella Beezy and Trap Boy Freddy and be, and you know what I'm saying, be outside in these streets a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like you wasn't raised better than that, boy. You was raised down better than that down there in DeSoto. You know what I'm saying? You're good Jamaican pops, man. Pops weren't playing that shit. You know better. So now that you get a little money, you want to get outside, you want to be in the mix, and then get yourself caught up in some stuff you ain't had nothing to do with. That's on you. On you. And I don't give him none of that slack. Because the thing about it, Bud was trying to fight Earl for 4 years. So the fact that Earl put him off and then went and fucked himself up in a car crash, that's on Earl. And I don't mean to disrespect Earl because I like Earl. I was a fan of Earl. I cheered for Earl. It was never a question for me that Bud was going to win that fight. You know what I mean? But I say all that to say, bruh, when you make that bed, lay in it, bruh. Don't make your bed and then ask me to give you an excuse for pissing in it. Nah, you pissed in that bed. You a grown-ass man. Don't lay in them pissy sheets, bro. I ain't tell you to go do what you did. I ain't tell you to flip your Lamborghini on the road for some killers without your seatbelt and having to have facial reconstruction because you going 120 and a 60 at 3 in the morning. What the fuck is you doing, man? You know better. You a grown-ass man. You was raised better. So that's on you. Bud went there and whooped your ass, period. Period, man. And people like to say, no, man, the Earl before the act. Man, I don't want to hear none of that shit, man. Styles make fights. He was always going to get his ass whooped, dog. Styles make fights. He wasn't a different fighter before then. No. He was still that gosh dang robotic, walk you down, thudding power. He's not a knockout. He's not a devastating power guy. He breaks you down with relentless pressure in a high guard walking you down. Bud was always going to tear that shit up, man. So that Earl Spence is a quality win. That Earl Spence victory is a quality win, bro. Period. He gets full points from that for me, personally for me. You know what I mean? And then to go 3 classes and whoop the shit out of Canelo. Bud Crawford's victory over Canelo for me was more impressive than Floyd's because he was in the kitchen. He was in the mix. And he actually, like Floyd beat Canelo and Pacquiao in the same way where he frustrated them. He was a gnat at a barbecue. You know what I mean? He was a gnat at a barbecue. He peppered them without actually endangering them. They were never in any danger, but he peppered them. He stayed untouchable. He stayed clean. Now the score in that Canelo fight, the split decision the draw on that one judge's card, he needed to lose his license for one. But yeah, I was much more impressed with Bud's complete destruction of Canelo and a better Canelo. He was older, but he was better, bigger, and harder, and way stronger. We know Canelo been on the juice. I don't want to hear about eating Mexican steaks to pop dirty for clenbuterol. Man, fuck out of here, man. He was on the juice, boy. Big ass pit bull neck. It's a 5'7" white Mexican with a neck as wide as here. Boy, you was juicing. And then you went and got your big ass whooped by Bud. Man, yeah, I don't want to hear none of that. That's a quality win, too. I'm not giving Canelo no slack. Man, hell no. Canelo ran for Triple G for all those years. He lost that first Triple G fight. He should have. And then he arguably lost or had a draw in the second one. I'm not giving man up. That's a damn good victory, too, in my book. I don't want to hear it. So those is damn good victories. I'm with you. I don't think he got nothing to prove either, me personally. You know what I mean? But for the sake of others who I be having a debate about when I'm talking about Bud, then yeah, man, I want to see him come back and maybe get one more. I hate that people are saying that, I saw a poster say we got robbed of the greatest fight of the greatest potential fight of this decade or millennium, Bud Crawford versus Boots Ennis. Boy, the overration, oh man, how did Boots get so much credit? What did Boots do to be? Man, look, yeah, I ain't gonna get into it. We gonna see you, hey, Joseph Powell. Yeah, you had, hey, tap in with them three amigos, big dog. You had to like, share, subscribe, and tap back in, bro. Cause yeah, we gonna do a boxing episode. You in the right place, big dog. Cause yeah, my dog Keandre in here. You know what I'm saying? He a boxing head too. You know what I mean? And so if you want them boxing heads, though, you got to tap back in, man. Because, yeah, we definitely boxing episode, man. We're going to have, man, I'm going to tell you, I ain't bullshitting, man. Look, I already got it. It's already on the board. You know what I mean? The bonus boxing episode is already in the works. We for sure. We coming back around for sure, dog, because it's a lot of boxing talk to talk about, man. It's been a lot of boxing news for sure, man. For sure. So, yeah, we definitely going to circle back. Because, yeah, man, I can talk boxing just as much as I can talk football, man. And I don't know if you've been here before. You know I can talk football all day and all night long, man. I can talk boxing just about the same, big dog. So you in the right place. You're in the place to be. You in the place to be, man. Shout out to Joseph Powell, man. You one of them ones now, boy. You one of them members now, big dog. Yeah, man. Circle back. We're going to definitely get into it. Man. Matter of fact, a few of y'all boxing heads, man, if y'all here, and y'all as well, man, I ain't mean to steal nobody's time. I know y'all showed up here to talk football. We ran through all the games, you know what I'm saying? So we just kicking. You know what I mean? We just kicking flavor a little bit, you know what I mean? I know it's 9 o'clock. You might got something to do with the wife and kids. You know what I mean? Don't let me hold you. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna be here too much longer, man. We just, like I said, man, we just parlaying a little bit, man. We definitely it's a lot of boxing news to talk about, though, man. So feel free, man. If you got something to talk about, drop it in the chat. Y'all know how it's going. Y'all know what's going on, man. Talk to me. You know I say, yeah. But, yeah, holler at me in the chat, man. But no, we definitely got a lot of boxing news to talk about, bro. For sure, you right. Conor Ben is all of a sudden a top contender at 47. He ain't never fought at 47. How is Conor Ben trying to get in titles? Man, come on, man. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. A lot. The first Conor Ben and Eubanks Jr. fight, that was fight of the year for me. The Chris Eubanks and Conor Ben fight, the first one, that whooped his ass. You know what I'm saying? But that first one, bro, that was the fight of the year. That was the fight of the year for me. That was a fantastic fight. Now, the second one, Eubanks wasn't the same. He couldn't make that weight. He had already killed himself. He had to drop 2 classes. We talked about Bud going up 2 and really 3 classes for Canelo, but having to drop 2? Like, bro, that's and he's already 30, north side of 30. So, bro, that's crazy on the body. See what that did to Roy Jones Jr. When you try to go back down, like, you don't go down, you go up. You don't go down. We saw what happened to Jones Jr. when he came down from heavyweight to go back for Tarver and took that L, man, which hurts. Roy Jones, my favorite fighter of all time. Boy, I was heartbroken. That's still one of the saddest, that's one of my 3 saddest moments in my life. Roy Jones losing to Antonio Tarver, big bald head, ugly ass, man. Damn, Roy Jones. I'm blaming you, Joseph Powell, for bringing it up. Now I gotta relive that, man. Nah, man, shout out to my dog, Joseph Powell, man. You one of them members now, big dog. Let's see. He said he took that fight too soon, though. Are you talking about the Canelo and the first Floyd? You talking about Canelo Floyd? Because, see, people say that, Joseph Powell. Yeah, you got to come back. Yeah, you got to come back. And matter of fact, where my dog Tom ain't in here as well. My dog Tom, man, he a boxing head as well, man. Yeah, we gonna have I got a few boxing heads, man, that be on here. We gonna get into it. Because he was young. He was like 23, right? Are you talking about what? Are you talking about, I can't tell if you're talking about Canelo, if you're saying he took that Floyd fight too soon, or if you're talking, I just seen you said something about, oh no, that was my dog Keon just said something about Eubanks. Yeah, he didn't look like himself in that second one. I'm gonna come back to that as well. But if you're talking about Canelo, when Canelo took that first Floyd fight, he was young. He was 23. But bro, he had like fights. He had like 40 professional fights, dog. I ain't gonna call him young. I ain't gonna call him green. Nigga had 40 fights, man. 40. Bud just retired. He's 42-0. He just retired. Canelo had 40 fights at 23, dog. I ain't gonna say he took it too early. Nigga had 40 fights. Hey, he had 40 fights. He had 40 fights, dog. And then also, when we think about it, like, he was fighting for a title. How old do y'all think Sugar Ray Leonard was when he won his first title? And I don't know how deep in the boxing y'all get. Because Sugar Ray Leonard won his first title from Wilfredo Benitez. Benitez became champion at like 17 from New York. Not from Mexico, because in Mexico you can start fighting at 15 like Canelo did. You know what I'm saying? Like Devin Haney had to go to Mexico to turn pro early and start fighting at like 16. Wilfred Benitez, American born from New York, he was welterweight champion at like 17. That's fucking crazy, dog. You know what I mean? And so I think Sugar Ray Leonard won his first title off Benitez, and Sugar Ray Leonard was like 23. He was about Canelo's age. And so, hey man, 23 fighting for a title ain't crazy at all. Especially when you got 40 fights, bro. So I ain't gonna say he took it too soon, cuz I ain't gonna get to him. I ain't gonna say he took it too soon, man. He just got his ass beat. He just got his ass beat in my mind. That's what I'm saying. Let me see. He said he was losing that fight regardless, for sure. Oh, my dog Keandre said, man, he said, Bud had the same issue as Tyson with legacy. Ooh. They fought who was available. It's not they fight, they went bigger names. Hey, Keandre, boy, hey, you done did something right there. Keandre, you done did something right there. Boy, I'm glad, I gotta put you, yeah. Yeah, you did something right there. That's a damn good comment, Keandre. That's a damn good comment. And you know what's crazy, bro? See, y'all gonna we gonna circle back and have a boxing episode. I know I keep saying it. We're gonna circle back for sure and have a full-fledged boxing episode, man, because we got a lot to talk about. I just was looking at a list. Bleacher Report, I think, put out a list of the top 50 fighters of all time, and they had Tyson, I guess, as the honorable mention at 51. He wasn't. But that's the thing, is like, we don't remember, because you gotta grade eras like by what was there. You know what I'm saying? Because people, like, dog, the guys that Tyson beat, like, they were dudes. Now, they weren't timeless names, but they were names in their time, though. Like, bruh, Tony Tubbs was a number one contender, and I think he had a title. You know what I mean? Like, Frank Bruno was a legit contender. He also, I think, had a title. He had the British title for sure, and I think he may have held a heavyweight title for once or so for a short while. You know what I mean? Like, Razor Ruddock was a legit contender at this time. You know what I mean? Larry Holmes was older. Larry Holmes was Bud Crawford age. And listen to this, because we will say Larry was old, he was past his prime, and that's true. After fighting Tyson, Larry Holmes' next fight was against Holyfield. And I think he lost a split decision against Holyfield. This is young Holyfield. You see what I'm saying? So Larry Holmes was still a guy. He had came back, yeah. He was older, yeah. Larry Holmes was still a threat. You see what I'm saying? So, like, Michael Spinks. Now, Michael Spinks was scared out of his mind. You know what I mean? And he got knocked out in like 30 seconds. But we forget Michael Spinks was the lineal champion. Michael Spinks won the title from Larry Holmes. Michael Spinks was an undisputed light heavyweight champion, then went up and won the title, the lineal title from Larry Holmes. He took the title from Holmes that Holmes took off of Ali. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. No, I take it back. He didn't win that title from Ali. Ali had to come and fight him to make a little money. He was already the champion. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, the lineage still traces back, though. That was Ali's belt. You know what I mean? I'm trying to remember who he took it off of. Don't worry about it. This ain't the boxing episode. But what I'm saying is, like my dog Keandre said, we don't give those names enough credit for the time in which he fought. Michael Spinks was a decorated Olympian. He was an undisputed champion at, was it light heavy or cruiserweight? One of them. And then he was a heavyweight, lineal heavyweight champion. Like, there were people who didn't consider Mike Tyson the champion because he hadn't beat Michael Spinks. Mike had 3 belts, and people still everybody didn't consider Tyson the champ because he didn't beat Michael Spinks. He didn't beat the man who beat the man, dog. That Michael Spinks victory, he blew him out in 30 seconds. Like, we feel better about that. If that was a more tactical fight and maybe Michael Spinks wasn't scared out of his mind, maybe he lasts 4 rounds and gives a little bit more than he just took, then maybe we would remember it more favorably. But because Tyson went in there and just bulldozed them, we don't even give any credit to what that was Michael Spinks' first loss. Matter of fact, Michael Spinks retired after that, dog. Michael Spinks retired with 1 loss. The first round knockout to Mike Tyson. After he had won that title from Larry Holmes. Man, come on, dog. Like, we gotta apply the context. We gotta apply the context, dog. And I think Tyson's legacy, it can be, at times it can be a little overrated, but it's oftentimes underrated as well. Because he did lose to the other names, though. Like, he never beat Holyfield. He never beat Lennox Lewis. You know what I mean? He never fought the Klitschko's. But that was past his prime. You know what I mean? That wasn't his, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, that was a good comment, Keandre. Yeah. Hey, that was a damn good comment, Keandre. I gotta get it to you, boy. For sure. That was a good comment, man. Matter of fact, it's after 9. Okay, I'm going to wind us down, man. My fault. See, I got distracted. Joseph Powder jumped in here, got us talking boxing prematurely. You know what I mean? And y'all, you know what I'm saying? I had to cut myself off, bro. Hey, man, I'd have been talking, it'd have been 11:30. I'd have been on here by myself talking boxing till 11:30, man. Y'all can't get me started like that, man. I'm going to finish out these comments, man, then we're going to wind it down. And then y'all have to stay tuned, man. Tap in with them 3 amigos. Like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and hit the bell if you want to, because we definitely going to have a bonus boxing episode, man. It's going to be a full boxing episode, and we're going to get one of them in, man, because it's too much boxing stuff to talk about, man. It's been too much boxing news. We overdue, for sure. Let's see, Buzz just better than everything moving, but I'm glad he left at the perfect time, undisputed without paying. Hey, man, exactly. And you know what, Keandre? See, I was going to hold on to that to the boxing show, but I think the beef with the WBC, I think, had a lot to play with him retiring, because he was only hanging out to fight for the undisputed title at 160, because Janet Beck is fighting Laura, or well, they was supposed to fight, but then Janet Beck popped dirty for steroids, and so Laura fought some other dude, but the plan has been 60 and try to be 4-time undisputed, which means he needs that WBC belt as well. With the WBC on that bullshit, right? And they done fell out. And so now if Bud's not going to go be undisputed at 60, then, you know, it doesn't have the same motivation. You know what I mean? To stick around to go to 160. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of that had to do with it, man. We're gonna circle back. I think he was too. Bud gonna get touched up by a lot of folks, bro. Well, not a lot of folks. I don't want to shortchange him as well because he's talented, but I think we still kind of overblow his viability as a legitimate threat to Bud Crawford. Like, come on, man. I think that's too far. Boop's gonna have his hands full with Virgil Ortiz. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Boop's gonna have his hands full with Virgil Ortiz. For sure. And they've been supposed to fight for like 6 years. For sure. Abdullah Mason, nice. Now, also, and I'm glad he just won his first title as well, but he got touched up in that one, bro. He he took way too much punishment. Was that not Joe Cordina? Who was that he just got that title from? I can't think of Buddy's name. Buddy put real leather on Abdullah Mason, cuz. Like, Abdullah got to sharpen up. He got to tighten up. I definitely think he's more technical. He's similar to Boots in that he's a very talented offensive fighter, but he's very defensively irresponsible. He gets hit with a lot of clean shots, bruh, Abdullah Mason. And Boots as well. But he gets hit with a lot of clean shots, but he's still so young. He's what, 22, 23? You know what I mean? So he's still got time he's still growing and elevating his game for sure. But dog, yeah, he's getting hit a lot. But yeah, I fool with Abdullah Mason as well, man. I fool with Abdullah Mason for sure. Man, I'll tell you who I thought when before Keyshawn Davis tripped out, you know what I'm saying? But Keyshawn, and they was hitting at Keyshawn and Abdullah, I don't think Abdullah wanted that smoke. And I know Abdullah Mason, he called himself appetite for smoke. Now, he didn't want no parts of Keyshawn Davis, man. Keyshawn Davis a real live dog, man. I fool with Keyshawn Davis as well. Keyshawn Davis for these last couple years has been my favorite out of these young guys. You know what I mean? So, like, there's T.O., Tank, you know, Ryan Garcia and Shakur and Devin, like, they class. And then after them, the next class behind them, in my mind, was like Keyshawn Davis, Gary Antoine Russell, Abdullah Mason coming up now. He's still a little younger, but he's coming up now. You know what I'm saying? So we can throw him in. He's got a title now, too. I'll throw him in there. You know what I mean? You know, Bam Rodriguez, he's in that class. You know what I mean? Like that kind of, you know what I mean? Like they in there. But yeah, Keyshawn Davis was my guy, man. But yeah, no, I gotta get out of here, man. I was gonna try to catch up on these comments, man. I was gonna try to get them on the board, man. I'm just gonna fly through them, man. Yeah, Eubanks definitely didn't look like himself on that second one. And then because like that's too much weight to drop, dog. Like dropping two plus classes. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I'm telling you, this wasn't supposed to be the boxing episode. You know what I'm saying? You done hopped in here and changed the price. You know what I mean? But we got all that football talking out. We got a lot of that football. We ran through them games. Yeah, you know, I got a boxing segment on the show. You know what I'm saying? Bonus boxing. You know what I mean? I got a boxing segment. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I can't run 2 channels. It's hard enough to run 1. I'll take that Bud fight too soon after the accident. Well, no, don't forget. All right, this is gonna be the last one. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be the last one for sure. Spence wasn't the first fight after that accident. Remember, he fought Ugas. Matter of fact, was Ugas the first fight, or did he fight 2? No, I think Ugas was the first fight. No. He fought Ugas and Danny Swift Garcia before he fought Bud. So Bud was like his 3rd fight after that accident, though, cuz. You see what I'm saying? Like, Bud wasn't even the first one. He was, I think, the 3rd, because he fought Danny Swift Garcia and Eubanks Ugas before he fought Bud. And all those fights was after that accident, cuz. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to give him no slack, bro. I ain't giving him no cut. Exactly, Keandre. That's the part we forget. What was I going to say? Yeah, Floyd was older than Bud when he fought Canelo that first time. For sure. Oh, yeah, Joseph, you got to come back. We're going to talk about that. The boxing world, the only person that ducked Loma was Tank Davis. I'll give you that. Tank ducked Loma. I don't want to hear what nobody got to say. Tank ducked Loma. Now also, I was going to say Loma might have ducked Devin Haney, but I'm not going to say that because he did go unify, or he tried to go fight for Undisputed against Teofimo. So I'm not going to say he ducked Devin Haney. I'm going to take that back. But I don't think the only person I would say I feel like maybe really ducked Loma was Tank. Tank didn't want no parts of Loma. Hey, appreciate that. My dog Karen said he got 2% left. Hey, that's right on time, man. Hey, I appreciate you though, homeboy. Rocking to the phone down. Hey, yeah, we gonna send your phone out right now. We gonna send your phone out right now, big dog. before we get out of here, y'all know what time it is, man. Before we get out, man, time for that real member roll call, man. Shout out to my dog, man, Joseph Powell, JP, man. JP in the building, man. You want to know, dog? Tap in with your dog, man. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, man. We're gonna come back and have a boxing talk, man. You like to tap back in when the boxing heads get in here, man. We got some real boxing heads in here too. Yeah, we had good conversations talking boxing as well as football for sure. Mom Dukes is in the building as always. I appreciate you, lady. You know that. Let me see who else is in this thing. I'm looking for you, my dog, man. My dog, my brother Chop was in the building, man. I appreciate you. Auntie was in the building. I appreciate you, Rini, for sure. Sister's in the building. I appreciate you for sure. My dog, J2 Trill, in the building. I appreciate you for sure. Let me see who else is in this thing. I'm looking for you. Y'all know what's going on? Hold on, man. I know a lot more of y'all was in here. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to just start throwing them on the board, man. I know we stayed a lot later than we normally do, so I'm going to just throw them on the board for everybody. My dog, Miles Pretty Tony the Painter, was in the building, man. I appreciate your homeboy. You see, where my dog Vegas James at, man? I know my dog Vegas James is in here. Shout out to my dog Isaiah, man, Mr. Cash Kid in the building, holding down for the Chargers. I appreciate your homeboy. Then my dog Pretty Tony. Let's go, man. My dog D-Dot, man, was in the building, man. Big Nation Business. He know what's going on. I appreciate your homeboy. Let me see who else is in the building. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. I know I'm looking for you. Where my dog Vegas James at, man? I was trying to find you, put you on the board one more time. But you know it's love. I couldn't find a comment. Damn. Now, I say the same thing every week. Feel free to say it with me at home. Now, JP, Joseph Powell, you knew, man. You knew to this. You might not know what's about to happen. My dog Vegas James, man, if you're still in here, you a little new to this, man. You might not know what's about to happen. But for the rest of y'all know what time it is, man. If I forgot to say your name, damn, hey, my bad. But charge it to my head and don't charge it to my heart. You know I'm thinking about you, big dog. Hey, I appreciate all love support as always, man. I appreciate y'all rocking out with your dog, man. It's been 2.5 hours in. It's about 9:30 on a Wednesday night. It's 9:30 on a school night. Some of y'all still got to wash and feed your kids, and you been in here kicking it with your dog, man. You know I appreciate that. Tap back in. JP, man, Vegas James and my dog JP. I do 2 shows a week, normally 2 football shows, Wednesday nights at 7, Sunday mornings at 10. Wednesdays the recap. We talk about all the games from the weekend. Sunday morning, 10 to 12, right before the kickoff, man. We go through and preview all the games. Same just like this, man. We get in here, we have a lot of fun. We talk a little smack, all in good fun, man. So make sure y'all tap back in and tap in with your dog. Also, man, like y'all can probably guess, I do intersperse some boxing content as well, some boxing episodes. We got one of those coming up real soon, man. I'm trying to finalize when I'm going to squeeze in a day because I want to get one in for sure. Or you know what? It may make more sense than I'm thinking about it, y'all, to wait till after this weekend because we got that Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight. And so if we go have a boxing episode, we might as well let that play out so we can talk about it on the show as well. So we might, I was going to try to squeeze it in by this. I was probably going to try to squeeze it in, yeah. I'll get back to y'all, man. Y'all just tap in, hit that bell, man. We're gonna figure out when we're gonna squeeze that box episode in. But yeah, I'll wait for sure until after this Jake Paul fight as well, so we can make sure we talk about that on the channel. But other than that, man, hey, I appreciate y'all. Man, y'all have fun. Be safe. Have a good rest of the night, man. Do what you gotta do. Do the wifey thing and the kids, the wife and kids thing for sure. If you ain't fed yourself, because I'd have kept you busy all evening on a Wednesday night, man, I apologize. I'll see you on Sunday. Y'all take care. Y'all have fun. Have a good night. Peace.